We made it again.
Incredible.
300. What number are we on?
354.
354.
300.
I'm the guest now.
It's in the fucking title.
Yeah, it's right there.
Right there.
Oh, it's right there in the title.
354. 354 times, chat.
Yeah, maybe by 355 I'll remember that. Progress, not perfection. That's what we say around here. Welcome to Friday Night Tights, everybody. It's been a fun week. Got some trailers that dropped on the same day, which was very interesting. A lot to talk about. Andor. Ryan cannot wait to talk about Andor. We'll do that later on in the episode. We do have somebody else coming on. He's getting recalibrated. He's reversing the polarity. Right, Rex?
That's a really good joke, Gary.
You like that?
That's a really good joke. It's really
there he is.
He came back.
Tyrone Magnus.
Did you return with the pack of smokes?
Yeah. The old going out for cigarettes line.
I have no idea what's going on. I keep switching to my snowball mic. It won't accept it. I don't know what's going on.
Classic.
What's going
It's all right.
on?
We'll make it work. Welcome to the show. I wanted to talk. I wanted you here as we talk about Superman's James Gunn. So I think that'll be a good conversation. And Ironheart, the iconic Ironheart. They should make it. They should make a comic called The Iconic Ironheart, and then it would get canceled after 6 issues.
Maybe it might sell over 14,000 issues.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I pulled the numbers of its volume. It's in my video, the volume 1 for the sales. It came out in July of 2019, and by the end of 2019, it sold 2,640 copies to comic
We've
shops.
sold twice as many Saints and Sinners already.
There you go. All right. Way to get that plug in there, baby. Early. But before we get to Saints and Sinners and all you lovely people, let's take care of some business. Because this episode, what are we brought to you by? Oh, we're brought to you by a couple things.
Yeah.
Today, right?
2 different things.
One has a script, one doesn't. And I'm just going to have to totally wing it. That'll be fun.
Go with that first one, baby.
Go with the first one. Gamer Sups. Gamer Sups. I got my raw meat one right here. That was amazing image there. Raw meat. Raw meat.
That sounds good.
There you go.
Wow.
Ooh.
All creator.
I like the little red juice at the bottom.
That's what she said.
What? Excuse?
Ew.
What?
That's what she
What
said
is
once
this?
a month.
What is this exactly?
It's Sups for gamers.
It's Sups for gamers.
It's energy drink.
It's energy drinks.
Oh.
Yeah,
I've heard
it's
it's like
pretty good. I tried
healthier
it.
soda, like alternative. I have
Ooh.
heard good things about Gamer Sups. I've heard that they have a really broad variety of flavors.
Like the Gamer Fart
so-
9000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the. I thought that was one of their candles. The gamer.
But apparently
it gives you energy, whatever it is.
But apparently people have a problem with the gamer fart and Gamer Sups, and they're leaving because of their associations. Well, we don't have a problem with that. Just saying it right now. We don't have a problem with that. All discount.
Just because they sponsored Kanye's new video, people all of a sudden got up and
Yeah.
Yo, they have lean. Look at that. Purple drink. Right there.
I love
You can try
it.
yourself.
Purple drink. X-Ray Girl, help me out here. What was the discount code?
Oh my god.
Is it
I
Nerdrotic?
just
It's probably
remembered why I left
Nerdrotic.
the show.
It's probably,
Nerdrotic.
but what does it entail?
It is Nerdrotic. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Sorry, Garrett. I had to take you out there. Yeah, use code Nerdrotic. You can get worldwide shipping. For someone like me, shipping's like $20-$30 usually when I order. So if you want significantly cheaper shipping, you should definitely try it out. Use code Nerdrotic.
There you go. Thank you, Gamer Sups. And
you.
also, we're brought to you by, I think, Rumble today.
Yes.
Rumble.
Ooh.
Free speech is under attack, but Rumble refuses to back down. We've always believed in empowering voices, no matter how unpopular. I mean, they care. And now we're taking that fight to the next level, where major advertisers conspire to pull their dollars. Even brands like Dunkin' Donuts turn their backs, claiming Rumble had a right-wing culture. Did you hear that, Rags? Right-wing culture.
Well, hey, look, as we learned on Andor, right? Freedom is a pure idea. It occurs spontaneously and without instruction. So
Nice.
there we go.
But we're not here to fit the mold. We're here to defend free expression. To strengthen this mission, we're excited to offer Rumble Premium, a completely ad-free experience with exclusive benefits for viewers and creators. You'll find exclusive content from creators like Nerdrotic, and I don't know if it's exclusive, but Geeks and Gamers, and Jimmy Corsetti from Bright Insight. I'm just trying to think of some different names here. I don't know if it's exclusive content, but these are people who are on Rumble who you should support. Is Culture Casino on Rumble?
Yeah, he is.
Is Adrienne Curry on Rumble?
That I don't know.
I think she is. I think she is. These are good people. Follow them. It's more than a subscription. It's a stand for free speech. Your voice matters. Join Rumble Premium. For a limited time, you can get $10 off an annual plan using promo code Nerdrotic again. No, just Nerdrotic, not Nerdrotic again. I said it again, but it's not Nerdrotic.
Nerdrotic.
Yeah.
I thought you said Nerdrotica.
That is, well, that's a future
that's for
channel.
The super patrons, okay?
That's our extra
a different product.
income stream.
Yeah,
that's going to be your Gamer Seps flavors. Nerdrotica
yeah.
one day.
There you go. Visit rumble.com/premium/Nerdrotic and claim your discount today. Together we can turn the tide. Whether you join Rumble Premium or simply keep watching, your support helps keep free speech alive. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I have a question for the panel.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up with your
Double D is the answer.
webcam? You need to reverse the polarity of your webcam.
Has anyone here been betrayed by a woman?
Ooh.
Been betrayed or betrayed?
Betrayed by a woman.
Women have betrayed me.
Yes.
I think that's every interaction.
Betrayed?
Yeah.
Because it happened to me this week. I'm
no.
burnt and I'm hurt by it.
Why?
Tell us too.
Well, Mother's Day happened.
Was it your AI girlfriend?
No, it was
okay.
Was it
my
Studio
wife.
She's real to
Your
me.
wife.
Damn
They
it.
trick you and have a penis? What happened?
I think he's just
Your
using it
AI
for free
wife.
It
therapy.
should happen.
Always
tell
check
us
for
about
a
your mother,
penis
Chad.
first, Chad.
Okay. Let me fill you in. All right. So Mother's
I
Day
don't
was
wanna
this
be
week,
filled in by you,
and
Chad.
you know,
You asked for it, Chad.
my wife is a mother, and so I spoiled her, and we had a movie night, and she got to pick the movie. Okay, and so she picked.
Where's this going?
She picked Somewhere in Time, which I've never seen. Have you guys seen this movie before?
Yeah.
Can't
With
say
Christopher
I have
Reeve.
not.
This is a classic movie with Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay,
It's
I know you're
supposed
talking
to be
about. I've seen it.
this
Okay.
timeless love story. Okay. And that movie friggin' sucks. Everyone dies. It's a horror story.
Oh my God. I'm going to kick him right now, chat. I'm going to do
Come
you.
off
I'm
it.
sorry,
For one,
how many of your
spoilers.
How
How
many of his
dare you
dumb
disrespect
stories
a
do you have to
classic.
look at every day?
Get the hell out of here.
Spoiler warning for that.
Wait till
No.
Shad learns about like Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my God.
Spoilers.
dies
The
in
movie
the end.
was
Tragedy,
made
not a love
before
story.
I was
One
born.
movie,
Stay down
Shad.
there.
How many
Spoilers.
swords do you
Okay.
own? How much dumb
Shad, don't you think
Renaissance
Twilight is
shit
good
do
or
you
something?
own?
Yeah, he thinks Twilight is good. Somewhere in Time's a good movie.
Hang on.
Get out of here.
I've never said that. I like
All right, that's
Twilight, even though it's bad.
There you go.
Okay.
You know what?
all right.
I dislike Twilight for the opposite reasons because everybody lives at the end.
Half of them are dead.
Like
I-
the vision,
Yeah.
the vision sequence that she had of like what the future was going to be,
Oh,
where everyone
man.
was ripping each other apart, would have been a way better ending.
Yes,
They
but
did it for like 45 minutes.
I can't believe that's such a timeless, beloved, film. It was awful.
I like how you've held on to this
Chad,
poison
this,
throughout the
like-
entire
Have
week
you
just to
made
tell
her
us.
I have. I needed
Thank you
to
for
register.
starting the relevant take of a 42-year-old movie, maybe more.
I'm this
Why did
close
you
to
Why did you
making
grab
a
a sword
video
when you were
Yeah.
kicked?
Yeah,
Grab the sword.
I always have one on.
Dude,
you know,
I've
He's
got-
been betrayed.
I've got
I'm
swords.
Mine's in
sure
the
you've
closet.
made her watch something horrible like way more often.
maybe.
No, it is
Yeah.
not unusual
Wedding
for
videos.
wives to pick some depressing fucking like you think it's like a romantic movie and then everybody dies at the end like pretty much every foreign film. Yeah,
Hey,
that's a
some
wife
people's-
thing.
That's some people's idea of romance.
Yep.
It's the representation of depression. Okay, you wouldn't get it. It's the-
What, this
it's
show?
No,
the most
Thunderbolts.
important thing of
Oh,
Friday
I
Night
talk about
Tights.
today.
No, this is schizophrenia. This isn't depression. Look at all the talking faces on the computer. They speaking to me. I give them.
They are. So obviously we're going to talk about the Superman trailer. We're going to talk about Ironheart. We're going to talk. There's actually a pretty funny article. We went over it on Real BBC. I want to go over it here again.
Ooh.
About Hollywood wants to give you some tax breaks, but there's some caveats that go along with it. There's some things you have to do.
No government money does not have strings attached.
It's got some pretty strange strings attached. And of course, we'll talk about Andor. But while we have Tyrone here, we're going to cover the superhero show. I mean, the show is called Friday Night Tights, right? If you
I'd
want
also
to
like
know.
to say, because it's been eating at me, I thought that Tyrone's shirt said loiter, which I didn't know what to make of. I was just like, I guess that's.
Oh yeah, it looks like.
I guess it's like.
hang out.
I don't know.
Just a big
Like
cat
just
loitering
There's a
around.
shirt that says, especially with the big tiger face on it, that just says loiter. I was like, all right, it's not that extreme. I
Loiter
suppose.
like a tiger.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a brand. I got another Spider-Man one where it says it on the back. It's the brand.
It just says jaywalk.
Just littering. Yeah.
Litter.
So, I mean, I guess we could start with Superman. Is that what you want to start with?
Well, Az just dipped. I was going to say, let's talk about Saints and Sinners real quick, but maybe we
yeah.
can talk about it later since he's left. But let's go Superman
Wow.
first.
Unbelievable.
Now, because it is WB, we can't show the trailer because we would instantly begin.
Ooh, let's act
taking
it
down.
out.
So I'm going to go ahead.
I think you could
Yeah,
do
they
some
literally
stills.
just claimed my first reaction.
Oh, yeah.
to the teaser. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we're just going to click through here.
Did they claim ours on Nerdrotic Daily? I don't think they did. I didn't see an email.
They did.
They did.
Companies,
not on
stop.
Nerdrotic Daily, but
Oh, they did on our live stream. Dude, last Friday,
heavily.
we got hit technically 6 times.
What?
We got hit
You get
6
barraged.
We got destroyed.
I think we can act it out.
Yeah.
You'd really let me
Ooh,
interview
I'll be
you?
Rachel Brosnan.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 2 people here have to play her boobs. All right. So
What, Az? You're not volunteering for that? I thought you'd be jumping on the guy.
Az, how you doing? You all right, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll be her boobs.
I got hit for 8 claims on ripping a silverback. 8.
Yeah, WB's smart. They're real smart. They like
And they-
the internet
W-
interactions.
WB was all of them.
We want everyone to see our trailer. No, not like that.
But yeah, I didn't know WB owned A24 because we showed an A24 thing, and we got hit by WB. Unless they're just claiming other people's shit, what I wouldn't push
Probably.
past them.
It's happened on YouTube before. It's happened to me. Someone who just clearly doesn't own something, just claiming it. You got to check that shit.
Yeah.
Dude, they're terrible. They're fucking terrible, and it's an abuse. And like, what's crazy is Disney doesn't give a fuck of all the companies.
Yeah.
All the companies, they don't care.
Because even they know it's like, it's a trailer. We want as many people to see it as possible.
Yeah,
Like
it's
a little
free
commercial.
advertising.
It is a trailer. It's an
Moral.
ad. Play our commercials
The
for
only thing you'll
free.
get hit for in a Disney one is the music sometimes.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
the music's
YouTube's
from
rough with
something else,
music.
Yeah.
I got hit on music for the Ironheart. Not that.
Yeah.
it matters.
Yeah, people forget. The music's what'll get. I'll get you.
Netflix has gotten better. Amazon Prime's 50-50.
Yeah.
Paramount's 50-50.
Paramount's.
They
I've
used to
heard
be
Paramount
bad.
Can be horrific.
They used to be really bad, but no, like Warner Brothers is the worst. Absolute worst.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
BBC is horrific. They'll claim you for 2 and 3 second clips.
Dude, my first claim was showing an image like this of a map on Westworld when I was covering it to like 100 people. You know, they hit me.
They're like, take that man's 3 cents.
Yes, they did.
Is he gonna rip his shirt open? I haven't seen this yet.
No, you haven't seen the trailer yet?
Just
No.
hoping.
You haven't seen the Superman trailer?
Wait, is this a new one or an old
Yeah.
one?
It's a brand new one.
Yeah.
Brand
Kind
new
of the
one.
biggest,
He's gonna
biggest
get
news in our
wildly
sphere, Chrissy.
over-emotional.
I think.
Oh, it just came out.
Came out 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. All right. So, well, definitely the Ironheart trailer preceded this by a couple of hours. Obviously it's not a coincidence that they brought them out the same day, But there's two schools of thought, you can go with. Definitely why they released it a couple hours before to bury it. It's to bury it under Superman.
If they wanted to bury it, why release a teaser before with a behind-the-scenes interview announcing it?
They did that last minute. Well, okay, when we get to Ironheart, I have theories and I have info. So, yeah.
The Superman one was set in stone. This was going to
Yes.
release at this time on this day, period, and they had been setting it up for a while. The question is Ironheart, and we can talk about that when we get to it.
But this one was set in stone, and it is this is the beginning of their Barbie-like promotion to where they're going to go all in, and they're going to probably go crazy with fucking popcorn buckets. And what I mean by Barbie promotion was great. Like, whether you like the movie or not, like, it really fucking worked. They did that Airbnb Barbie house. They had Barbie fucking cars. They were doing shit all over the place, right up until the strike, right? Because they were promoting it, and then the strike happened, and then they had to stop. It was like a couple weeks before. I think that it was like a week or two before it came out, but it still helped a lot. So that's their school of thought. Now, the preface to this is there's the Snyder bros out there, and then there's DC fans. And I've already given the analogy 1,000 times on this channel. Like DC comic fans are a different breed than Marvel comic fans or any comic fan. They are more radical, more fundamental. They have factions. That they have warring factions.
No idea of this.
This is sounding quite severe.
Oh yeah, this is like the Goblin Wars in Oblivion.
It is. It is.
This is happening this whole time, and I didn't know about it.
Like, people are seeing it now on Twitter. But that was what comic shops were like 20 years ago. They fucking fight and the term Marvel zombie comes from DC fans. That's what they called Marvel fans. They called them Marvel zombies.
The goblins were having a war.
Look, if you know, Shad, you know.
Are you calling DC fans goblins? Because I'm against that.
No.
I'm
That's
against
messed
that.
up, man. I'm not.
Didn't you
Look,
just call them goblins? Like,
no,
3
I
minutes
did.
ago?
No. Look, if you know, you know.
All right, so
Okay,
James Gunn taking this on, like, good luck, dude. You're never gonna sway the Snyder Bros ever, ever, ever. But definitely do not like poke at them like we've heard that could happen in the movie. That's just a really fucking dumb decision. It's going to be compared to the Man of Steel. It's going to be compared to Dick Donner Superman. It's not going to be compared to Superman Returns. Nobody gives a shit about that movie. Yeah,
they're playing like Richard Donner Superman music.
That's the Superman theme. That's not dumb, but they're playing it badly. Like, it's like it needs full orchestra and not like some Hans Zimmer keyboard.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. The original is just such a classic. It's so upbeat and whimsical and just it's very heroic. I didn't like the rendition in the trailer. It felt like it was trying to be too serious, trying to take itself too.
I don't understand this ad rollout. It's so strange. To start with Superman crashed and dead, right? We've already had that. We've talked about that. It's weird, but I guess you're trying something new, whatever. And then the next one, he's also getting his ass kicked, like through the whole thing. He's whining in this therapy session, this interview.
Getting over-emotional.
Over-emotional. Like, why is he?
Yes.
He should be standing and saying, because it's the right thing to do for good. I'm standing for good. Because people were going to die, not because people were going to die.
So here's the thing. I don't mind if he's venting to Lois, right? Like, all this stuff's going on.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor is warring basically this smear campaign against him, and he might not know about that, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't mind if he's like venting his frustrations privately to Lois. The problem is the way they set it up as this interview, and it's also the first fucking thing we see in the trailer. Now, if you reorder the events in this trailer, and maybe at first you have the Pa Kent voiceover, right? You start with like some soft music that is continuing to grow in the background as you hear Pa Kent saying, you know, your decisions, your choices, those are the things that make you who you are, like blah, blah, blah. And we have those clipped in with images of him saving the people and stuff. That sets a completely different tone for the trailer. And then maybe you can have this happen a little bit later on. I think it was a little jarring to have this thing and him getting so defensive to somebody who clearly is on his side anyway. It set a weird tone for the trailer.
I think
Maybe-
like contextually in the movie, it probably works. It's
What,
probably
the
fun to build
context-
up.
It's kind of
in the
weird for the
scene.
trailer, though.
the-
Yeah,
the
I've watched
context-
it.
The context seems to be she knows that he will lose the moment he gets questioned, and so she's trying to teach him that when they come after you, because they will, you need to be more restrained.
Yeah, I mean, this could work in context to what Ryan is saying, and I totally agree. Is like you're starting out with this, and for one, you know, like listen, people are going to be sensitive to this, and they should, because Hollywood has earned all the ire that they get. They don't deserve the benefit of the doubt for shit. So it puts
Didn't come out of nowhere.
Lois in the position of power over Superman. This is the first time we're hearing him speak as Clark Kent, like more than a couple of sentences. We're hearing a conversation, and we're hearing him, and I think he sounds fine. But it was a very strange way to start it. You know, like overall, I mean, it's a pretty well received trailer, right? I would say
think he got upset because there might have been some sexual tension, and he expected her to be on his side out the gate, and he's upset that she wasn't.
maybe. But did you watch the trailer, Chrissy?
I did. I just
okay,
watched
yeah.
One thing I have to
What's
say
the way
I
we
did
sexual
like about
tension?
the trailer is the fact that they actually show him wanting to save people, unlike what we've seen in Ironheart, where she just wants to be
Well-
iconic. He actually wants to be a hero. That's
Yes.
one thing I had to say I like about
No,
the trailer.
the trailer is fine. It's like the best thing they've put out so far. It's the best promotional thing they've done. But as I said, I was covering this with Chris, and you know, I've seen it a couple more times. It's whelming. It's there's
very
parts-
whelming.
Yeah,
It's mad to me. That's
Yeah.
how
I
it
mean,
feels. It
it's
doesn't make
the-
me excited to go watch it. But
Superman.
I don't think it's horrible or anything.
It looks pretty.
To me, like I've had concerns from the first trailer, and I see the similar missteps with this trailer for all the things that you guys have been talking about. Like in the previous trailer, where it started with the opening, I was saying, yeah, that might make sense in context, but that's something you need to build up into and earn. And then they're doing almost similar things with this trailer, where they're leading with something that sets a kind of sour, taste in my mouth. And I just look. I hope the film is good. I want it to be good. I've been saying that for a while. But the fact that they're constantly kind of misstepping certain, ways that we would want Superman depicted just makes me more worried that they don't understand the character.
Well, I mean, we'll find out. Like, I appreciate not spoiling the fucking plot in the trailer. I'd rather have an ambiguous the 28 Days Later trailer, however that fucking movie turns out, that first one they released, was trailer perfection.
Fucking great.
That was trailer perfection.
It
It
makes
sets,
the movie.
it sets a mood, it sets a tone, gives you kind of an idea of what it is, and it's designed to like, I want to watch that. This one, it felt like they were trying so hard not to give away parts of the plot, which I appreciate. I do. But, listen, I hope we walk out of the movie going, God, that was a garbage fucking marketing campaign, but fucking A, that was a banger, man. Let's go. We got a Superman movie.
We need an
hopefully,
inverse
yeah.
TLJ.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that argument, the interview, which apparently goes on for 10 minutes. It's
Yeah, I
10
think that was
minutes
long.
in the movie.
It's a long scene.
It's long. Like, it has context, and James Gunn is very proud of it. He made sure to point that scene out at CinemaCon.
I got a question though.
Sure.
He's not wearing glasses in that. Is he Clark posing as Superman for the interview for her, or is he? You see what I'm saying?
Maybe he got
knows.
LASIK.
She knows he's
As
Superman.
Superman.
They're already together.
At that point,
At this point,
It's already established at that point.
Well, see, I'm not sure I like that because there's so many weird vibes with this where it seems like the people are still coming to terms with Superman. He's still coming to terms with who he is and all this stuff. That it's like they've got elements of his early career and then they have elements of his later career where he's in a full-blown relationship with Lois and she knows who he is and all this stuff. And I'm getting
Brian,
It's like
mixed
Superman
vibes.
year 2.
Hell, yeah, it's early on, but like, dude, I am completely okay with like them just coming in the fucking middle. I am so tired of beginnings and ends. It's like,
Yeah.
fucking A, give me something in the middle where he's established. People know where he is. We've worked out some stuff already with Lois Lane. We knew that was going to happen anyway. And let's have him fighting some fucking bad guys and saving people. That's
And I think the crux of, I think my guess is that the crux of why this is a discussion, why he's getting so much criticism, it's going to be, like we heard from the leaks, that Lex Luthor is actually engineering a lot of this kind of social media stuff. Now, I don't mind the idea of that in principle. I don't love the idea that it's a bunch of mutant monkey troll farm that he's using in a different dimension. But the idea that Lex Luthor, because everything he's building can't stop him, he's going to find a different way to neutralize Superman, and the idea that it would be to try to turn public opinion away from him. Like, in principle, if well executed, I don't mind that idea.
Right.
And that is probably what's causing so much of this stuff, that it's a little bit overblown.
Yep.
When did Lex Luthor lose his hair? Because I feel like we could trace a lot of his anger issues back to that moment.
Well,
It's inadequacy.
that's actually
Depends on which origin.
Not that there's anything wrong with being bald.
No,
no.
of
Panel.
course,
There's nothing wrong with being bald.
As,
It's
I
really
dressed-
just red rocket.
depending.
34.
Yeah,
That's when 30 fucking 4.
Yeah, depending on the version you read from the comics, it's a factor. It's a huge factor. So, but Tyrone, I wanted to ask you, what'd you think of the trailer?
Well, if you saw my reaction, I'm just lukewarm on it, and I'm concerned. You know what I mean? I've been a fan for years. So, and I'm a fan of Zach's, but I'm not a Snyder bro. Like, just some of his stuff I like, some of his stuff is just okay for me. So, I'm fine with the. I feel like there's an overcorrection with this Superman versus what Zach did. I think whatever complaints were, for the DCEU, there's a magnifying glass on them. So they glaringly went so far to the left or right with trying to overcorrect for this movie. The really bright colors, the suit is vastly different. Just certain things about it. They went really Silver Age comic-y, campy with certain things. I'm just like, I don't know if it's going to work. I'd like it to work. I just don't know. So I'm in limbo right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, because I do not have the like with the kaiju, right? And I know what's behind it, but fuck it, I'm fine with Superman fighting a giant monster. It's like, dude, let's do this, but make it good, okay? Because it could go horribly wrong. It could go so wrong. But I'm fine with leaning into the comic stuff. If we've got fucking Crypto. Like I like Crypto in the comics in small doses. I like the dog in small doses. That's fine. You can do the dog in small doses, but they've made it like all of the marketing, and we know why. They're trying to get women to this to this movie.
They could make his bulge bigger. That'll get me there.
Right?
Just a little.
But my nitpicks from the beginning were from
Your
a very
nips are what?
My nips are hard.
from a very comic book perspective. Yes, my nitpicks.
Nitpicks.
Oh,
Look,
the
this
guy,
isn't Batman.
the guy
There's
who
no
thought,
nipples on the super
That's
suit.
yeah,
Dog
at
whistle.
least I'd recognize a dude. Okay, motherfucker.
Sure, Jan.
No, that collar I fucking hate. I hate the new 52 collar with all my heart. I think it sucks. I'm
Got the undies though.
I'm okay with the trunks.
This costume fucking sucks.
Trunks are
All
on.
of them suck. They all suck. They all
like
look like
little-
shit.
Yeah,
Every
it looks like
single
little
one of
boy underpants.
I think
Which is
Metamorpho
weird
looks
because-
okay. Yeah.
Because in most of James Gunn's DC stuff, I thought his costumes were really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In like Suicide Squad, good. Even in Peacemaker, the show's not very good, but like the costume's pretty good.
Yep.
And then in Superman, like the biggest production, it's just meh. It's like it looks clunky and fat, and the colors are even kind of off. Even though they're brighter, they're just kind of like, I don't know.
People keep telling me to let the suit go. I'm not letting it go.
No.
It's an eyesore through the whole movie.
Yeah, and now this is in the trailer, which means this is in the
Yeah.
movie. This is what it looks like in the movie. We can't be like, oh, it's set photos. Like, this is what it looks like. It looks a
I
little.
might need to ride a motorbike
funky.
at a moment's notice.
They were definitely they were going for a golden age look, right? A little bit of a golden age look, and it just
I can tell.
we'll have to see how it looks. But I see it in the trailer, and I'm like, other costumes are better. Thanks for putting the trunks back on, but you don't.
Thanks for putting a huge U on Ultraman. That's something.
Yeah. Well, okay. We got the Alex Ross S and not the proper S.
Yeah, it's
Superman
the Kingdom
S,
Come.
yeah.
The Kingdom Come S.
And it just reeks of like, I think that's because Superman's about to become public domain, and I think it's a rights thing that they leaned into this. That's my guess anyway.
Snyder's was an interpretation of the S.
Is that Crossbones in there? I didn't know they were doing a crossover with the MCU.
Yeah,
no, that's
He looks
Rick Flag
basically the
Senior.
same.
Rick Flag Senior. And Ultraman,
He needs to get killed off in another universe.
and I didn't recognize her at first in the trailer, but that's the engineer on the right, Wildstorm. So Jim Lee's Wildstorm characters are, which it tells you that they probably were gonna put the Authority in here, and that got shit canned. But
The girl has the same collar shape almost.
And the thing is, you see the engineer at a different point in that, like here, she's with the military. They're arresting Superman. At a different point, you see her with Lex.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder what's going on there exactly.
She looks spiky.
Yeah, what is going on there?
Some people are just spiky, you know.
yeah.
Kind of rude to mention it, but I mean.
Well, this is them destroying. I like the look of the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, I like Lex
too.
Lex looks cool.
Looks good.
I think Lex looks good.
I just not buying Nicholas Hoult.
Really?
At all. Yeah,
Really?
I gotta see
A lot of
the
people are
movie.
saying that.
Looks like
I think it can
bald
go either
Razor
way.
Fist.
I have complete confidence that Nicholas could play this well. It's all going to depend on how he's written.
Yeah, exactly.
it's
Because
true,
he's a
yeah.
great actor. I love him as an actor, but this trailer, I'm just like, I do not feel Lex with this at all.
We didn't get anything of him. He was yelling in one because he was mad. We got one of him saying Superman.
Man, which was very like Kevin Spacey from Superman Returns. If you've seen that whole
Superman.
that snippet where he's going through different versions of just saying Superman.
Yeah.
He's doing, and he does one of those. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, we don't have enough of him at all to me feel even how he's going to come off in this.
Yeah, well, he's better than Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes.
I think we're in agreement there. Yeah.
100%.
But we got to see if he puts like candy in somebody.
Yeah, a
else's
little
mouth.
Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
We
Well,
have to do a
to
little
me,
Jolly Rancher.
Jesse Eisenberg was always Alexander Luthor II. That's who he was,
Yeah.
and he'll always be that.
Yeah.
Thought he was Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, that's what he was. That was
It's like the same all the time.
If he had a personality.
Elon Zuckerberg. That's who he was.
Yeah.
Facebook.
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 But yeah, I still don't what did Chris tell me that oh, they did another test screening, I guess, and it's a little different. And they added some after there's going to be post-credit scenes.
More crypto.
Oh,
No.
Great.
It's the universal fixer.
There's post-credit scenes.
Post-credit scene.
And,
Lobo or Supergirl or something.
Got to be Supergirl. That's the only other thing they've.
Nope.
Sure.
Nope. You want to put up the spoiler thing?
No?
You want to put up the spoiler thing?
Okay,
You
Do you
can
think
dip out.
Batman's gonna have
Spoiler.
Ace? So they're gonna bring Ace in for Batman then, and then Crypto and Ace are gonna get their own.
All right.
What is it?
It's going to be James Gunn's wife.
Yeah.
Yes, you guessed it. No.
Is
Is there
You
any,
guys,
is there any lore reason why the spoiler thingy is a ping pong paddle?
Yes.
Is that a,
yes,
Yes.
there is.
Well, you gotta. I'm not aware of the lore.
Okay.
You have to catch me up. I
Okay.
have to know.
Well,
That's a spoiler. They've got a second
it's a
paddle.
spoiler. I can show you. I still have it. It's in my closet.
Spoiler.
It's in the
Wait, oh my
closet.
God, it's a real prop.
That's,
It is.
Nerdrotic
So-
lore.
Back in the early days when we had no graphics and I would do TV reviews live after they aired. I'd put up a little paddle for spoilers because I spoiled
that's
everything
great.
the
Somebody
same
sent
night.
him the paddle.
So somebody
Do you-
sent me a paddle and painted Nerdrotic and spoilers on it.
Oh, that's cute.
So I assume that this means that Az still has his whiteboard.
Yes,
Az
I do.
needs to bring back the whiteboard.
better.
The
Shit,
whiteboard.
hang on, Garrett. I'll go get it, and
The
then we'll tell the
iconic
spoilers.
whiteboard. Oh,
I-
of course.
Iconic, yes.
Az
The
really
iconic
changed, man, when we
whiteboard.
stopped.
All right.
I was just waiting for somebody to recognize its excellence.
It does
needs
feel like
validation as.
with what we've seen between the kaiju battle, between the one against the robot that I believe Lex built, like it does seem like it's going to be very active in terms of there's going to be a lot of fighting that Superman's going to be doing throughout this whole thing.
Right there. Wow, we kind of be holding up that sign.
Here it is.
Oh, hey.
Oh, how cute!
Spank me, Daddy. Spank me.
Wow, this-
Spoiler alert, you're about to get spanked.
It has other uses. When Mrs. Nerdrotic's a bad girl.
Don't spoil the climax.
Made the text 3D.
Yes. Okay, put the spoiler. Well, I can put mine up.
in the fridge is spoiled. Whip it.
All right. I want everybody to know this comes directly from Chris Gore.
Okay.
The guy that said he wasn't going to do any more leaks and stuff of things. I'm not going to break it
Well,
in.
maybe it's brain
So
core.
direct all questions to Chris Gore. I know he's listening too. I'm just kidding, Frank. I love you. Chris Gore heard it from somebody else, okay, who goes to all the test screenings. So I can't tell you what happens because I don't know what happens, but Brainiac and Hal Jordan.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Brainiac
So
and- yeah.
the TV show.
Yep.
The TV show, yeah.
Okay.
Lanterns.
Which I hate that. Call it fucking Green Lanterns. Green Lanterns.
It's
Green
they're
Lantern. Just call it
ashamed.
Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? No, lantern. You know what? It's just we're gonna have a bunch of guys in green with their fucking rings on, and their willpower doing shit. But man, I draw the line at Green Lanterns. We need to call it lanterns.
I think that both of the actors that are cast for that can like knock the specific roles out of the park.
Totally, absolutely.
However, the first image that they released, I fucking hated.
It's
like, bro, it's just two dudes walking down a street. Man.
Yeah.
And you had to look really hard to see the ring on Hal Jordan. So, but no, I love the casting. I thought it was pretty good. To be honest with you, yeah. Yeah. And like in theory, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner's fucking rad. I hate his look.
It's so funny because Fillion, like people have wanted him to play Hal Jordan for
forever.
Yes.
That was fan casting
and
from
he's
the
voiced Hal Jordan. Yeah,
he has voiced him in the animated universe. Yeah. And so for him to show up as Guy Gardner with the fucking hair was.
He's getting a bit on in years now.
Doesn't that scream superhero show?
No, it does not.
Superheroes.
Not at all.
So it's
Maybe
a little.
it's the
Well, if
Incredible
it's a
Hulk.
superhero
Actually
show on
really
the
good, though.
CW, then
Yeah, it's like a CW, like they're gonna try to do a fucking. They're in
they're off-
Montana somewhere, and these are a couple cops.
yeah,
They're off to meet
Sure.
Sam and Dean Winchester.
Green Lantern.
look, this is a
No.
place that looks like you
They're-
don't need a permit to.
They're in
film here.
Montana. Yeah, they need it. They need it by all means. They need to protect the ranch. Okay, that's what they're there to do.
They've updated Brokeback Mountain.
From the railroad company that wants.
Yes, they needed to protect the ranch.
They look like they're about to do a struggle snuggle in the mountains.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Brokeback Lanterns.
I'm sure they're fine, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, you can take the spoilers down. So, yeah, overall feeling from the from me, it looks like most people like it. Most people are happy about it. The reaction on YouTube is really good. There's nowhere like I think the downvotes it's minuscule.
It's like 500,000 upvotes to 15,000 downvotes.
Yeah. It's
So regardless
Take
of
it.
whatever Twitter sphere you might be in, where it seems like everyone hates it, overall it's been a pretty positive reception.
Yep.
I don't hate it. there's nothing which excites
Yeah.
me. in it at all.
Yeah,
I agree.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
The stuff
it's
I
just
like
like-
about it, but it's not like it doesn't make me want to go see the movie though. That's
No,
kind of the
it makes
issue.
me. If it was on TV on a Saturday afternoon when I'm doing the laundry, I'd
Right.
maybe have it on. But
Right.
thinking,
I praise
if-
that.
yeah, if I was like, if I wasn't
The
doing
laundry?
YouTube and I was just a regular, I was a regular Joe. This isn't my job, and I saw that, would I be tempted to go to the cinema to see it? Nah, I
Nope.
just feel like I'll wait till it comes on Netflix.
If
or
it comes to
whenever
me,
is.
I'll see
It's
it. I'm not
streaming.
going to go to it.
Yeah,
If it
It
shows
doesn't
up in my house
inspire,
uninvited,
you know?
I'll watch
Mm.
it.
Like the it says "look up" is the tagline.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be
inspiring, but none of it has been inspiring.
aspirational and inspirational. And we start out with a whiny Clark.
Yeah,
Inspirational.
It's just a weird choice.
Yep. And after we saw a defeated, destroyed Superman in the opening of the previous trailer. So,
and in this one,
that's
he's beat
tension.
down like 3
Oh.
different times
Yep.
in the trailer. So it's like, is he getting his ass kicked the whole time? I mean, it could be cool, I guess. I don't know, but it looks like he's getting his ass kicked.
Look,
I mean,
it's
why
not
was
about
he
how
com-
many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up. Okay.
Yes.
That's
all right,
it.
Rocky.
It's
You
very
get
Yeah,
knocked
put
that in
down,
the trailer.
you get up
Okay,
again.
Why was he
Maybe
covering
Thomas-
his face? Why was he covering his face when he was getting blasted by fire?
Wouldn't
So you
you?
can see.
Yeah, wouldn't you? I
It's-
mean,
it's-
Wouldn't
makeup
you? That
on.
seems like a natural reaction.
Protects
Yeah.
money
Not for
maker.
Superman. That's my point. He
Yeah,
would
but
not-
if he could see, you block the fire, so then you can move. And you
They
can see it.
did.
I can see that.
I mean, we got to get total verification, but I mean, because it came from comicbook.com, I tweeted about it, but they did fix one thing. So it sounds like
The
Oh
flinch.
yes.
yeah, their fan feedback works, and why not?
Hey,
Like-
point
It
to
didn't make
Sonic
sense.
every
It made
time.
no
Point to
sense.
Sonic.
Why would Superman wouldn't even feel the can hitting the back
Yeah.
of his head?
No,
Never mind flinch to it. So it made no sense.
We don't know what's in that can.
Kryptonite.
Spam.
spam.
Was it your interpretation, that little shot we get in the trailer, that Metamorpho is creating kryptonite when he's in that one cell, when we see him for a second in the trailer, Gary?
You see
I
his
did-
hand glowing. You see his hand
that-
glowing green.
That's what I thought too, Tyrone. And I think that is interesting. Like Metamorpho can like change and synthesize into like
Yes.
a bunch of different chemicals and shit. So the idea that he could turn into kryptonite, and that might be what he's in there for and what they're using him for, is interesting.
that's really interesting.
Mhm.
Stick with that and not with monkeys and super shit. Yeah.
So there's the shot where Superman is getting beat down by guards in a cell. Metamorpho is like sitting in the corner of the cell, and I believe his left arm is glowing green.
Glowing green. But go back to the Blink thing. Yeah. So they definitely fixed this, and they listened to some fan feedback. I would say get rid of the monkeys too. But here's the scene. First teaser, he blinks
Oh.
and he doesn't
Yeah, I see
blink
that.
in the bottom one.
Yeah.
And like
Oh.
I
that's
think it's a good fix. It makes more sense to me.
yeah. And if,
Yeah.
like
It does.
I
He
am
is Superman. Superman.
He's a man of steel.
and fixing these minor things can absolutely help. And this is why you do test screenings. That's why they've always done test screenings and done like little reshoots at the end. Now we're going to be talking about another movie that might have a little longer reshoots. We'll have to see about that. A lot of
A lot of reshoots these days.
well, I mean, it's pretty normal. It's pretty
a
normal.
lot of reshoots.
So it's just more money. It's just
I'm not
millions of
paying for
dollars
it.
more.
No, and
the like ratio that this Superman trailer got seems like that's something Marvel could only wish for at this
Yes.
point, because
Yeah. Well, like
the,
just say
Ironheart trailer's
with-
doing great. Lots of positives
with the
that
two
one.
movies that are going to come out pretty close together, Fantastic Four, Superman. Superman doesn't give me red flags. It just there's nitpicks about it that I can be like, I would rather it be this way, or I would rather the tone of it be a little different. Fantastic Four, red flags.
major red
Like
flags.
female Silver Surfer off the bat, red flag. So like just on that aspect, I'm looking forward to Superman. I'm intrigued to see if it's good. We'll see. But the trailers so far have been lukewarm.
Meh.
Meh.
They've been meh.
Meh.
It
The
seems so
issue is-
busy. It seems too busy. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be purposely. The trailer could be purposely doing this, but I just see a confused mess
They're
on
doing
the
too
screen.
much.
I don't see a vision. I don't see a direction. I just see
Unfocused.
throw all these characters in because they're coming down the line. We've got to introduce these. We've got the whole fucking authority business with Maxwell Lord. They're probably not even going to make any dent in the film whatsoever. I would have liked to have just seen something a little bit more specific to Superman and maybe Lex, or Superman and Brainiac, or Superman and just something specific. It just seems like a confused mess at the moment.
Yeah, 'cause
Contextually,
there's a lot of characters. I'm not sure how they're going to make it work. I mean, they have Mr. Terrific in there, and to me, from what I remember reading the comic, he looks comic book accurate, which is fantastic.
Little
He does,
skinny,
he
a
does,
little
he looks
skinnier.
Terrific, you could
Yeah,
say.
but the issue is like you have all these characters. How are you going to make all those characters work in the Superman movie? It seems like they're cramming way too much stuff into it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they
Throughout,
don't take a bunch of
2
time in the
hours.
movie. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's just the aspect and they're trying to throw it all in the trailers.
Yeah.
But
They can't. We've got a 10-minute interview.
But
soon.
why'd you have
The
Maxwell,
marketing.
Why'd you have Maxwell Lord and Lex Luthor? They're almost they're kind of like the two sides of the same coin.
rival.
You know, they're very similar kind of entities in terms of power, in terms of what they try to do, and all that kind of stuff. So it seems so bizarre having those two in this film.
I think it's
I don't
because
think-
the way that you make the spin-offs and stuff now is you get a movie that you think is going to be a hit, you have all the little side characters in, and then you attempt to spin them off.
Mhm.
Also to give people reason to go, because
Right.
the same thing that makes people not dislike it that just means they don't hate it. But if it's neutral, they're not going to bother giving any kind of reaction. But it also means they're not going to go to the cinema. So they fill it full of as much stuff as possible, try and get the widest audience, hope for the spin-offs, and then hope that it's good enough that people will go, well, it's not that bad, but it's better than everything else.
Well, the S does stand for hope.
That chestnut.
So
That's been this year, Disparu. This entire
This
year.
S on my home planet of Krypton, it stands for gun.
It stands for James Gunn.
It's a J. It's not an S. It's a J.
I think that Maxwell Lord in this is not going to be presented as a villain, at least not yet.
Yeah.
It seems like he is the one that is, kind of holding together this other superhero alliance. I don't know what they're going to be called, but
The Justice
The
Gang.
Authority.
The Justice Gang.
Is that what it's going to be? The Justice?
It's
Gang?
kind of the
So,
slang. It's the slang for it in the movie, the Justice
Guy
Gang.
Gardner, Hawk Girl, like he's going to be like in that group of. So he's not going to be presented as like a villain in this, at least. Maybe something could come to light a little bit later where he's playing a different game, but.
Okay, so why put out the trailer for Peacemaker where they all look like a bunch of dickheads?
Yeah.
Dude,
Maxwell Lord, Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl,
They're all
all
like-
come across as a bunch of
So
pricks.
last night, I'm like, I'll give another look to Peacemaker. I'll look at it one more time. I fired up the first episode and those fucking credits where they're doing the fucking dance, and I turned it off. I'm like, fuck this, I can't do it. I'm out.
Are you actually asking me why Guy Gardner comes off as kind of a prick? Is that like a real question you asked?
Hold on. No, not just Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner, Maxwell Lord, and Hawk Girl. Guy Gardner's a prick.
Yeah.
Right? But they all came across as pricks. So it wasn't as if Maxwell Lord was coming across as this leader of the Justice Gang, whatever they're going to call them, that was looking to recruit Peacemaker, and they were sort of like, okay, this guy's not fitting in. They made all three of them just look like wankers. So that group doesn't look like it's a heroic group. It doesn't look like it's a group of people that you want to get behind. And if this is what it's being presented as in the film, Maxwell Lord's Justice Gang, we are the saviors of Metropolis and the world and whatever, and they're just all coming across as assholes.
So what I think,
it was like
what
the
I
boys,
think,
the way it felt like,
what I think is this movie is that Superman is going to be at odds with them. He's not going to like the way that they handle shit and the way that they do stuff, and he wants nothing to do with them, and they kind of feel the same way about him. And I imagine there's going to be such a big threat at the end of this movie that they're all forced to work together. That's my guess based on what we've seen from the promotions.
And what you've seen in the leaks, if you've seen the leaks, which have all been pretty accurate. So far. But yeah, like, Tyrone, you mentioned The Boys. The Boys is now going to infect a lot of superhero stuff, and especially specifically the TV show. I know there's a video out there that says the TV show is much better than the comic book. It's got a lot of views. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's fucking wrong.
Crazy.
Wrong as fuck.
Massively
But
wrong.
yeah, that's going to play into it. I think it will, whether people want to or not, especially a DC superhero. But I hope they steer as far away from that as fucking humanly possible.
Why? Because it's trendy.
For what? It's a tired trope. Like,
it's dumb. I want my heroes to be heroic. Right?
Yeah.
That's like the biggest issue with a lot of like modern Marvel these days is the fact that superheroes don't act like superheroes. They're doing it for alternative reasons. Like I want to be iconic rather than saying I want to do the right thing and make the world a better place and save people. That's what pisses me off about.
Give me the vibes of Justice League Unlimited. That's what I want. I want that. I want the heroic, godlike heroes that do it for good.
Yeah.
Like, give me that. I want that vibe. I don't want like we're kind of assholes, tongue in cheek. Look at these superheroes. No, I want superheroes on a pedestal.
Because the writers aren't writing heroes, they're writing what they would do if they had superpowers. Yeah. And they'd be like, well, actually, all this was really shallow because it's just good and evil. And what actually has depth is this moral gray zone where everything's actually not just a binary, it's all a big spectrum. And they just think that's the complex.
Well, that's fine, but part of a variety is having heroic heroes and really like reluctant heroes. Like both of the ends of the spectrum are part of a variety. So I'd like to get all shapes and sizes and kinds. That'd be nice.
You know what my favorite
Hollywood would have to employ
superhero?
a spectrum of people for that to happen, though.
Yeah.
Well, if they can they need to just focus on doing one well, wherever they may fall. If we could just do one, let's start with a single character. Well, John Walker, but then they ruined him and they hate him. But we know.
And Superman would be that character. It's a perfect character to do that.
He would, yeah,
to
he
be
should
the
be.
archetypal superhero.
I think that's what
character.
they're going to try with this movie. So we're going to have these.
I think so too.
Well, definitely with Guy Gardner, but even with Hawkgirl, they're going to be a questionable, almost anti-hero, and we're going to have this, real hero come in and maybe show them the way. And I'm fine with that. Like, dude, my criticisms, like, what the fuck are these costumes? Like, explain these costumes to me. This is like you're rolling out Hawkgirl, you're rolling out Guy Gardner, and Guy Gardner's like, forget the shitty haircut. He's got a shitty costume, like Hawkgirls looked better in the fucking CW shows, dude. Like,
well, these are the Maxwell Lord costumes, aren't they?
But they weren't that shitty in the book. In the costume, in the comics, they were good.
Because they were still wearing their own costumes.
Yes.
They were just part of the Justice League. That was all.
So are they going to come at us? No, wait. Are they really going to come at us with they're supposed to look bad? And it's like,
oh yeah.
Well, actually, Garrett, the costumes are supposed to look awful.
Well, also, the reason why people have been saying stick to the source material at all costs is because they don't trust you as a writer to do something better. But if something was legitimately awful in the comic, change it. Like, if you make it better on the screen if you are capable of it.
The problem with the costumes is that they're all designed by the same person in reality, and they all have the similar lines and design, regardless of whether it's Superman, Guy Gardner, or fucking Ultraman or someone else. It's got the same fucking design. They sort of come in, then go down, come in, then go down lines. And the legs all look the fucking same. The chest pieces all look the fucking same. Look at Superman's costume.
No goddamn lines. We're done with the lines. I'm fucking tired of the lines.
Well, what they've done on this, it's like a game generator where it's like you can color your own costume, and it just turns out to be preset areas on each one that you can alter.
Yes.
This one's red. This one's green. This one's
They look
yellow.
like the Power Rangers.
Okay, calm down with the Power Ranger hate. Okay,
Hey.
this is a pro
like
Power
you've gone
Ranger
too far.
stream.
Thank you, Rags. Thank you.
You know what's a really great superhero TV show that I'm watching right now?
What?
Batgirl.
The Chosen. It's truly, it's awesome.
It's about Jesus.
Is anybody else watching it?
Yeah, one Superman.
I've watched a couple episodes, and honestly, it's
So
pretty good.
good.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty good.
binging it.
I mean, they got like 4 seasons or 5
actually,
seasons.
Five seasons. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
season
know about
5.
this.
They just released the first 3 episodes in theaters, and that's coming out, I think.
Oh, this is about
soon.
Big J.
Yeah.
Big J.
Big J. And
Jesus died at the end of season 3. Season 4.
Put up the paddle.
Jesus.
Are you telling everyone died again? What?
I'm looking forward to all the Apostle spin-offs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a post-credit scene.
An apostle story.
I want to see Paul just hanging around, man.
I just want every apostle to be conflicted and morally gray like Judas, you know?
Yeah.
Judas is actually a hero for Marvel.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, over at Disney, they're saying, "Oh man, this Ironheart thing. I hope we make 30 pieces of silver on this."
Be lucky.
Well, they definitely betrayed the audience.
Speaking of,
Nickels.
They sold their souls to do it too.
Shekels.
Yes, they did.
Well, yeah, they washed their
Made some
hands of that guy,
sacrifices.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this where the stereotype began? I don't know. With Judas.
speaking of
stereotypes,
Speaking of stereo, yeah.
a joke I didn't get into the damn video, Quarter Black. They race swapped the hood.
oh my god.
Man,
They literally race swapped.
I never
the
knew what
hood.
the hood was. Looking up photos for from the comic books, the hood looks badass. He's got 2 guns. He's got a cool ass hood. Watch the trailer? It's fucking god awful what they did to this guy.
No, he looks so lame with this fucking hood on.
He looks stupid.
Oh god. But we can actually play this one because
Yes,
I'm
we can
sure
play.
nobody's seen it already. Especially, well, Chrissy hasn't seen it, but I'm talking about the chat.
Chris is the only sensible one here.
I know. Yes. Yes.
Baby, he takes up all my brain and time.
It's true.
Oh, whatever. Okay,
You
Odin.
sound like fucking Odin.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers
Yeah,
over here, right?
my kid can't walk yet. He still craps in his pants.
Well, Odin.
He's 7.
Odin. Oh, where is it, Garrett?
Pizza
Oh, there it is.
again.
Black girl magic.
There you go.
Wait.
Black girl magic.
Okay. There we go. We got Ironheart, who made her first appearance in Wakanda Forever.
35 years ago.
Great film.
75 years ago,
Yeah.
it was announced no, it was 2020. So everybody was locked down, and Disney did that famous investor video where Bob Chapek was hosting it, and everybody was in front of green screens. Remember that?
Yeah.
Did you see the clip preceding the announcement of Ironheart? It was announcing Secret Invasion, and Kevin Feige, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit what he said. This is the biggest crossover since Captain America: Civil War.
Oh God.
So I don't know.
Secret Invasion.
I don't know what happened to that show in production from that to like.
Gary, I'm confused about Ironheart because I'm seeing both negativity and positivity, and I saw your tweet, and you seem pretty positive about
Okay,
Ironheart.
let's.
I'm sharing it right here. I'm confused. Like, what is this one that you
Do not
sharing?
objectify X-Ray Girl. Okay, I forbid you.
Oh.
So
Ironheart.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of positivity around this one.
Well, this is actually in truth. This came out in 2014. It's according to Perry, who's seen every second of it.
Years before Bendis wrote Ironheart.
It's in 5 parts, so confirmed. This is the most popular Ironheart by far, and yeah,
That's a saga.
You recommend it?
I highly recommend it, and so does Perry.
There's whips involved.
Perry gives it 38 seconds.
Hey.
It may not be Mormon appropriate, Shad. Just
Yeah,
throwing
Shad.
that
I don't. I wouldn't be.
Is it a porn?
You know what?
Like, is it just
Don't watch
straight
it
up
with
porn?
It's a
Yes.
yes. It's a porn.
Okay,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's a porn. It is a Japanese porn, but Japanese. You know, they blur out the private parts.
You know,
That's what I
when
heard
Dad-
anyway.
That's why.
Pixel each.
That's why they're so into tentacles, because you don't have to blur a tentacle.
You don't have to blur a tentacle.
It's just
true,
a tentacle, guys. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
It's going in a vagina.
And those moms really fucked them up. They really messed them up.
We don't know what's going on behind those 3 white pixels.
Vagina.
Oh my god.
This is legit. This movie is gonna make more profit than Marvel's Ironheart will.
Absolutely, it already has.
Just name recognition alone, yeah.
It already has. But yes,
Sue them. I fucking do it, please. For IP infringement.
so this predates the Ironheart from the comics, just to make you make it clear.
by 2 years.
Hang on, and they still named the Marvel one Ironheart?
They
Where
can.
they got the idea.
I mean,
Well, remember when
Okay.
Ruby came in, she was Iron. She wasn't.
no, she was
Ironheart.
Iron Fuck. Okay, if you go like one of her
She was
aliases.
Iron Fuck?
No, well, yeah.
That's the Japanese one again.
That's the Chinese.
So, like, we
one.
have to
It's
take
the
the
Chinese
name now.
one is Iron Fuck.
No, she was. I mean, one of her aliases is Iron Man because she literally took over the book. So they spend all that time in the behind the scenes talking about that. We're not passing the mantle. We're not passing the mantle. They absolutely were passing the mantle.
Yeah,
Tony Stark was fucking dead, and he was being mentored by an AI, and they even got the information wrong in the fucking
It's revisionist history.
in the behind the scenes. And it's like all you have to do is go back to the year or go back to videos from everybody in 2016 and 17. There's a bunch of Riri Williams videos out there. And the thing is, and I said it in my video, this might be the most comic accurate depiction of a Marvel superhero since Tony Stark. Just not in a good way. Just not in a good way because she's fucking terrible in the comic books. Let's look at this trailer.
By the way, this was finished 2.5 years ago.
Oh no,
Yes.
three
On the
on the shelf for 3 years. As I'll give you a little news, but we can watch the trailer first.
First thing she does in the trailer is break and enter.
Yeah. Close, breaks in.
At least it precedes the hip hop music.
then she
Which
destroys
is contractually obligated to be in every black show or
No,
movie.
what do you think about my proposal? Is we have to play the music of the nationality of every ethnicity now in film.
yeah.
I think that should be. I think the Film Actors Guild should go out there and strike for that. And you know, every
It's
time
not pandering at all.
No.
So when does the smoke detector chirping come in?
Just in a moment. Here, hold on.
For real.
In less than 3 minutes, the air in this elevator will no longer
There it is, right there.
Oh, what is that?
And it just cuts to the door opens. She's dead on the floor.
Yeah. Well, no, she's supposed to get a mask or something like that, and she just hot wires the elevator and opens the door. And this is a 1 minute and 44-second trailer, and by the time she gets out, it's like a minute into the trailer.
Wait, do you
If they
think they're going
wanted
to
to
kill
have
off the
real-
protagonist in the trailer? Do you think they'll do that? There's so much tension. What if she doesn't make it?
Well, yeah,
Do you
she
know
totally.
what would've- Brad, do you know what it would've
That
made
would
it
be
sense?
that would be
It would've
funny
made
if she
sense
died
they
in the beginning.
If they
No.
filled it up full of
Sorry,
water,
this
if
film
they
will
filled
not
it up full
release.
of water, then I'd be worried.
Okay.
She talked about the
Bring it to
Godfather,
the
yeah.
device on the floor, where you find a gas mask. Good luck.
I'm not gonna listen to no Screw man. this.
I still don't know why she breaks that. It's just vandalism.
It's so she
Oh,
can
Jesus,
relax.
that's the fire probably.
Did she
Yeah.
bite
Biting
the
mains
wire with her
electrics.
teeth? Sorry,
Yeah,
did
she-
she just use her mouth to?
Yeah, she
hold
can.
on,
She's
hold on.
just-
I gotta go back. What-
Alive
Yeah, I think
electric
she used the
wire.
glass.
I'm sorry, I must have.
Okay.
I must have seen that wrong. It surely wasn't that. I must have seen something else. It was further back.
Early.
They just have a broken
Yeah,
little
yeah.
art before. Gary can tell you
Yeah.
how to
Did she
strip
rip
wires
off
with
a
your teeth.
metal railing
Yeah.
from the
Okay.
What's that
elevator?
mouth
Yeah, she
do?
does, yeah.
Yeah, for one, you can strip wire with your teeth. Trust me.
100%.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you,
Definitely not when it's got mains
Done it a
electric
lot
running through it,
myself.
though.
you got a tooth. You got a tooth. You
I
put it
didn't know
in
if that was a
between.
thing or not.
It depends what it is.
Could be a live wire.
No, I've done it with live wires. You just gotta be careful.
So she ripped that off with it. Okay.
Oh, by the way, pause. Kids, don't try that at home, please. Okay.
No.
Safe.
Little disclaimer.
won't be
You're
able
not gonna
to.
be able to do it anyway.
But
Stealing,
if you
hot
don't have a wire
wiring,
stripper, you know.
doing drugs is all bad.
That's right. And don't
Don't
smoke.
get into elevators alone.
The more you know.
What? No, you at some point you're like,
Well, if you're in an elevator
alone,
alone, you're safe because
No,
nobody
not
else.
No,
without-
that's when you can fart in the elevator when you're alone.
That's my me time.
Yeah.
Finally, I
Small
can drink
comforts.
my gamer subs in here and
Yep.
be myself.
No, you can do drive-bys. Like you just like blast one, and then you get off right as soon as you see
close the
somebody
door.
about to get
Crop
on. You walk
dusting.
out and leave.
Regardless if it's your floor or not.
Hot boxing that thing.
Crop dusting.
Yep.
I heard Riri Williams was a genius.
No, but that was brute force.
Yeah.
Dude, no,
No,
stop.
did you
Pause.
see her?
Pause.
She touched the wires together.
She touched the wires together,
She
Disparu.
touched
She's
the
a
wires.
Yeah, but then
genius.
she got metal and brute force the door open. That's
Genius.
what the
Yeah,
wires
she
were
touched
for.
it.
Genius way of solving
It's
an issue, by the
magic.
way.
She has brains and brawn. Anima sana and corpore sano. This is what
She
makes
does
a
look
hero.
incredibly
She's got it all.
strong.
This is the challenge when you have riders that might not be that high
that
in
Snape?
the intelligence
Snape.
trial.
It's Hispanic Snape.
Closer than the fucking cat.
That's
thing.
better casting for Snape.
El Nico.
You're right about
Why
that.
should
The right
Hogwarts
direction.
talking to Snape?
Chat
Skin
real
tone
quick. I will talk.
Puerto
We will
Rican
talk
Snape.
about Kirsha later. Somebody in chat's asking. We'll talk about her later for sure.
This this feels like it looks worse than when a random villain of the week would appear in the Arrowverse on
Yes.
CW.
100%.
Yeah, show. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
move us so you
Okay.
can see the glory of his costume.
His costume looks like ass.
Amazon Prime selects.
He's looking at it like, oh
$34.99
man, this
next day
bitch is so Hufflepuff.
So,
Reminds me of Terrence Howard.
yeah. What was that, Tyrone?
Reminds me of Terrence Howard.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Like little Terrence, little T.
Like, hey man,
Hey man.
2 times 2 equals 18.
Hey, Az, what show does this remind you of?
Robin in the Hood.
Yeah, this and that might be better. And that was made by what? USAID money and the Canadian government.
It's made by USAID and Canadian taxpayers' money.
You look.
Oh, really looks
God
like
damn.
Robbin.
You look goofy.
Yo, we pulled the trigger at the same
We
time.
did. That was good.
Where is he now?
Where is he now? He should be directing this. I think he's tailor made for it. Director
Yeah.
X.
Robin.
We
I mean,
be
it's
Robin.
already. He's
It's
already a
coming
way
back,
more
baby.
entertaining
It's
trailer
coming
than
back
the
All
for
right.
this show.
So we're
He was
about
the only Hollywood. He was the only like entertainment guy I felt sorry for though, because he genuinely had no idea why people were taking the piss out of his show.
no.
He was completely bewildered by it.
art.
So, you in or out?
Could he be bought or not?
Answer's yes.
Riri, I see you.
Black person
I see you
detected
fed
on
up,
screen.
waiting to be
Initiate
acknowledged.
hip hop protocols.
They love the hippity hop. You know?
This is what they like.
For your greatness.
So already the trailer's striking the tone of she's coming off entitled and that she's only being held back
Yeah.
because she's
It
black.
really is the paint by numbers.
It really is.
It's so much, man. Like put rap in it, do some ghetto stuff, and they're gonna like it.
Dude,
It's like
some-
no.
Dude, every time.
Somebody needs to recut this with some fucking country music. They just need to do it, dude. Pow, pow, pow.
Country road.
Just
We
slide
had a
guitar.
meeting and there was some white dude on the thing going, well, we are trying to go for the urban audience with
So-
this TV show.
The
As-
urban
That's definitely what it is, because they condescend to her. She just fries their electrics, then he looks at her and goes,
Chirp.
"You are a genius."
Remember
Like,
the beginning of this
I-
trailer. They are taking on something that we've seen a lot of the times, particularly in this terrible phase of Marvel stuff and Disney stuff, where they just tell you what the traits you need to understand about the character are supposed to be. The trailer basically starts off with, "You are a genius." I was like, "All right then. Well, I guess that's that. She's a genius. Thanks for telling me."
You're
And
being
tell
held
those
down.
like
You're great.
she's not appreciated and she should have been being achieved. so
It's
much
it's
more.
the hero's
Being
journey. The
holding
hero's
her back.
journey, and she's great all along. And it was the patriarchy or the system keeping her down the whole
She's
time.
a woman.
she's
She's
waiting
got to work
for
twice
people.
as hard
Yeah.
to make it half as far.
It's everyone else's duty to recognize how
Yes.
strong she's been all along.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you say she has the exaggerated swagger of a
Yes.
Of a what?
Yes.
Of a what, Shad?
A
Of
black
what?
teenage
Black
boy.
teen. You
What?
said
Of an
What?
urban market. I'd say yes. Yes.
And be acknowledged
No
for your
kill.
greatness.
That's the line. You're not being acknowledged.
Riri, I see you. I see you fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's gonna get
What a
acknowledged.
hero. What a hero line.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
Oh,
That's
she's a
second genius.
everybody.
Yep.
Second, two.
MIT.
Wow. Oh, Mexican person protocol mariachi movie.
Solo detected.
The thing is, that guy blows up her entire story with one line.
You're not working at one of those fancy tech firms.
After my
Yeah.
internship
Hey,
abroad,
you walk
You
out
don't
the
need to
fancy
steal
tech
from
firm,
people.
She
You can
interned
just
at
get a job
Wakanda?
and pay
How
for
is
it,
that
you lazy cow.
possible?
Yeah, she's not acknowledged, guys. She's at MIT and she interned at Wakanda, the isolationist
How
ethno
did she
state.
even get into Wakanda? Aren't they all secretive?
Didn't you see Wakanda
Not
Forever,
anymore.
No,
Christy?
it was kidnapped.
I
they
should see
recruited
Wakanda
her.
forever.
No,
She
you
was in
shouldn't.
that.
No, you shouldn't.
You did yourself a favor, Chrissy.
Ugh.
It's 17
Wakanda
hours
2,
long and it's boring
Black
and
Panther 2
terrible.
went on
She was literally kidnapped by the,
Oh,
by the
that's right.
ethno state of Wakanda.
Yes.
Because she's a
Operating
genius?
unilaterally in our country because they don't recognize our laws because Wakanda can just do whatever the fuck it wants.
Yeah.
Adorable
And wasn't,
They got super metal.
yeah, wasn't it because she made like a special radar out of
Yeah.
her
Yeah,
ass?
it
that
was
She
would-
could detect vibranium.
that would break
I hope that
the
was the
world
story.
economy. Like
That one made it out of her ass.
Like, I don't know why you guys are talking about vibranium. That's so last decade. We're on adamantium now. It's
Yeah.
a brave new world. Haven't you heard?
Vibranium's so last year, okay?
New metal.
New metal.
New metal, who dis?
undeniable. Something.
Okay, she wants.
No.
Don't say it. Don't say iconic.
Iconic.
Oh.
It's a brand new.
Like, Do you want to do something important? No. It's like, no, all I want to do is be recognized for something that I haven't earned. She wants everything Tony Stark had without putting in any of the effort to get there. So she just steals, impersonates him, and goes, look, I'm as good as he is.
Or the conviction that Tony Stark had. The reason he did what he did and became a superhero is because he wanted to undo
the damage
he had done. But she's like, I want to be iconic.
I need to be recognized.
I know it's going to be like the crux of the story where she realizes that she should not be iconic. And
I think
whatever.
you're being very generous.
I'm
not sure he's that
because it is Disney Marvel, and I'm sure they'll be like, they'll never know.
Okay,
what you sacrificed.
There is oh god, it's so fucking long. The article and it's from the Atlantic, so they break down. I'll break it down to you as quickly as possible. It's an article called "Are We in the Worst Era of Pop Culture Ever?" And they basically interview some artistic black pillars, and they all say yes. But like they're whack. But the one thing I agree with is we're in this age of just uber narcissism. So everything is so, and they even call out identity politics in this. That's the one thing they call out. Everything is, It took them long enough, right?
Yeah.
But that's what they call out. They go, it's the death of storytelling. It's the death of cinema. It's the death of pop music. It's the death of publishing because everybody's so self-obsessed that they need to be reading about themselves, basically. Or at least that's what the publishers or Hollywood think. That's not true, by the way. Like we just want a good story. It doesn't matter. But like this is the epitome of it, dude. This is it. This is it encapsulated in one show.
For years, they've been calling us racist and misogynistic, homophobic for saying these things, and now they're finally catching on.
Yeah,
but when they say it, it's not misogynistic or racist or
whatever. Yeah, I hate it when people call me that. I am not homophobic. Okay.
Yeah, I am very racist though.
Yeah, get it straight. I'm not homophobic.
Get it right.
Oh, let's play this.
But I love the gays.
But hey, let's look at this iconic costume.
I can give you the tools to help you carry out your vision.
Crime.
Okay, so we got hip hop, we got underground criminals offering a bunch of money. We got knife fights.
Murder somebody.
We got transvestite.
We got angry lesbians with a Mexican. What's angry lesbian music?
Subaru honking.
Sound of their loved ones.
Katie Lang.
Subaru honking. Who said Subaru honking?
Birkenstocks slap on the ground.
Subaru smashing together.
Oh God!
Anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life,
girls,
had to do some questionable things to get it done.
Like Mozart? What?
That's another hero. Yeah, very heroic.
Yeah, another heroic moment.
Lilith Fair. Yeah, anything played at Lilith Fair is angry lesbian music. You're white, chat. Well done. Indigo Girls. Yeah, that's it.
Dresden Dolls.
Katie Lang. Melissa Etheridge. You know.
I love how we've changed as well from, do you want to do something great? No, I just want attention. And it's like, actually, it's just money. Like, it's just get to the core of the, I just want money.
Well, even in the Thunderbolts, they had to do their heroic acts and then get applauded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a very Robin Hood scene.
Yes. We be Robin.
We be Robin. We be Robin.
Here's a little poodle haircut too.
Yeah.
It's like a poodle.
Yeah. But he's going to be, it's out there now. And like, you know, Ryan, you're right. Like, you know, I never sought out the fucking D23 trailer. I never looked at it. I don't seek out fucking Ironheart rumors. And this thing the rumor is so fucking old. I'm not surprised that people are rediscovering it again.
It's from like 6 or 8 months ago is when during the footage, I think at D23, it may have been a different time, but when they showed the first glimpse that never got officially released, they showed Mephisto in this series.
Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto.
Famous for saying, is it because he's black?
So
yeah,
I think in the Runaways. Oh God, it's been years. The hood is connected to Dormammu. So they're probably going to just switch that to Mephisto. But like putting him in this show Mephisto's a fucking G. He is like top pantheon of Marvel villains. He's fucking Satan, basically. You know, like he's been involved in some of the biggest Marvel events, and they're gonna put him in fucking Ironheart.
Well, yeah, one of the biggest.
Literally or figuratively.
Yeah, Marvel event.
Yes,
anything's possible.
Weird intro.
Well, it depends on
Ironheart is
which
an incredible
Ironheart as.
Yeah, exactly.
Mephisto.
More like Mephisting.
Like,
what's he doing?
You know,
Does sound like a
you know where you
What's
could have
that
put.
supposed to do?
You know where you could put a Mephisto in? WandaVision. Like everybody was theorizing, and maybe those last 2 or 3 episodes would have been better. But
This is
no,
a
You didn't know he
reaction to that.
existed.
We
This
got
is a
Agatha.
reaction.
It was great.
All along.
oh,
You've bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew. I could chew a lot.
Got a massive
It's
jaw.
April.
Oh
April
man, I can't wait to
O'Neil.
see your quirky best friend. Yes, I want
Did
a
you-
quirky best friend.
Was it-
Yes.
April
Looks
O'Neil.
like April O'Neil.
Ryan. Yeah, I mean modern April O'Neil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch the behind the scenes? I think there's a clip of
Apple
of Riri going, "They want me to be small." I'm pretty sure I saw that in the behind the scenes. There's a clip of her in
Yeah,
the show.
yeah.
So she goes, "They want me to be small," and I'm all,
But I
"You-
won't."
You,
Yeah.
you are small. You're like a hobbit. She's tiny. I was gonna throw that in the video. There's a picture of her standing next to all the actors, and she comes up to their shoulders.
You need to put
Yeah.
it next to the little Russian chick
But-
from A Brave New World and see how they measure up.
But just
Oh,
that
God,
statement, like put that along with "I need to be acknowledged" and all this. They want me to be small, but I won't be.
It's like who is they?
Who's they?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And don't you know,
Oh, you
even
know.
a
Can you
small
specify
person
who
can
they
Is
are?
they in the room with you right now?
make- It is.
In this show, yes, there are 2 Transformers.
Is it
in this
yays they?
Oh.
Yeah, I saw like obviously all of the articles have already started about, oh, it's getting dislike bombed and blah blah blah, and it's like, well, it's because it features a black lead.
Of
And-
course.
and that's why- and it's like, look, if those are the arguments you want to make, that the only reason that this is getting disliked is because it has a black woman in it in the starring role. I want you to tell me why when we go back to the trailer for Wakanda Forever, it's got like 1 million likes and less than 100,000 dislikes.
Black Panther had no business making $10 trillion. That was nonsense for that terrible movie.
Exactly. So for all of the people who are downvoting this because they're racist and they don't like black people, who missed the message that Wakanda Forever, there's a lot of black people in that fucking movie. So where did all the racists disappear to? They only came to dislike this one, not the movie that's all black.
They really
here.
like Sinners too, for some reason.
I was gonna say Sinners.
Strange.
Bear in mind, this
Massive
is the
hit.
studio which covers up black people's faces on posters for different
Right.
countries.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's them. It's them.
I gonna be small though.
Now,
I don't know.
don't
Just
make me
maybe
smile.
right.
Didn't go through when everyone was told to go dislike bomb Wakanda Forever.
I
That must
know.
have been-
They took the
Like
day
I
off
said,
for
just
that.
make one. Just make one good character. Just write one. Just one. A single one, please. I'm begging you. I'll like your movie. Just one fucking character that's good.
Yes.
Mm.
Let's see.
Fingers crossed for quirky best friend.
Oh, well, that's coming up.
You know nothing about this man.
Tony Stark had to learn how to.
Was that a second quirky best friend?
No,
Yeah.
I think
His
that's,
sister.
I think that's the mom.
No, all 2 of them.
That's her
there
mom.
are
They're the
two.
same age.
No, that's not her
not the
mom.
mom.
That's
No,
not
it's
the
not
mom.
the
Mom, all
That's
black people don't look the
sister.
same.
that's going to be. Yeah, come on.
It could be your mom.
Guys, you're not helping the stereotype.
Yeah, this is a different person.
Jesus Christ. Guys.
Her mom was already
Fuck's sake.
shown, I think.
Yeah, she was. She was early.
A little older than that.
Nothing about this man. You're
I love the look of surprise
Oh,
on her
hey,
face. That she
do
should
you
know
think in,
something about a man before she
do you
like
think-
hangs around.
Do you think in this movie we're actually going to get any meaningful like scenes of her having to learn how to use the equipment, like
No.
Tony Stark had
No.
to do, where he constantly
close.
tinkered
No,
and
nothing
toyed with
close.
it, had to learn how to fly, learn how to get everything correct?
Nope.
If anything,
That
it
was
will be
all
a
done.
symbolic.
Look, that's
short
man
scene,
stuff.
and then she's
They'll try and
true. We have
explain
to
it
learn how to
away.
do everything.
She has
they'll
already
say
made
that-
this suit,
Yeah, she's
right,
already
in
been-
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
She
yeah.
has already
Right.
made and
You're
flown
right.
like a full Ironheart suit in that
You're right.
movie. So now she's just recreating it, I guess. What were you gonna say, Shad? I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say the exact same thing. I'll just explain that she learnt it all previously with the first suit that she made in Black Panther.
In like 5 minutes of scenes.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying it justifies it because
no, it does not.
I completely forgot because Wakanda Forever.
Because you want to preserve your brain.
7 hours long.
You need that memory for important things. I understand.
Bro, we saw her like hammering like a blacksmith on vibranium or something. Like before all of a sudden we get this like crazy suit.
I think my favorite point was in Gary's video, where she's like, I want to be iconic, and he shows a clip of Wakanda Forever where it's just, look, it's an Iron Man suit. The first time anybody sees it, immediately, you stole that from Iron Man.
Well, yeah, she stole everything. She literally stole his book. She stole his comic book. So she was in the Invincible Iron Man comic book before Ironheart #1 with the single worst cover ever created for a comic book.
Oh, Gary, what number issue is Ironheart now up to?
Nothing. It's canceled.
Oh, how long ago was it canceled?
Oh God, years ago. I think she keeps appearing in other books. I think, but I stopped buying Marvel comics. So that is
you're gonna have to when you say she, you're gonna have to be more specific. Are you talking about Kate Bishop, Ms. Marvel?
Yes. No.
Captain Marvel.
Maybe.
Ironheart.
Yes.
Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
Go on.
Capybara Lady, yeah,
All
the
of
whole.
them.
That is a rough looking.
Because who's it?
Dude, and they put this in the behind the scenes like they were proud of it. It's like, are you kidding me?
Ironheart #1.
A #1, and this was back in 2019. Yeah, 19. So comic
18.
sales were
Was
it 18?
No, it was November 2018.
Comic sales were still comic sales were still good. And it was a #1. It was the 45th best-selling comic. It got like 40,000. Now I think there was variance with this. So I mean, so the basic math is any amount of comic book based on its variant sold to a comic shop, then you have to take that percentage down. So let's just say there were 2 variants for this. Let's be fucking nice.
Well, it made it to issue 12, Gary.
Thank you.
Okay, it lasted roughly a year.
So if it's got a couple variants, that means I guess some like Iron Man completionists who aren't going to read the book at all just because it's connected to Iron Man. They want to get everything. They'll get both variants and not read it. So I mean, roughly, even back in my day when there was Scotty Young variants and stuff, I would say the numbers you see, being nice, 40% of the people actually read the comics that they were buying.
Yeah, you can buy a first print of this for $15.
That's way too much.
Do I get change?
Well, that's just think about what it'll be in 10 years from now.
It will be worth
$2
after the series. It'll explode.
All right, let's go see the last part of that trailer again because we got a big star at the end.
Okay.
Big star at the end.
You know nothing about this man.
You're gonna end up dead or in jail.
Is he shooting just a gun at her?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
He's not. Look, Snape isn't that stupid. All right. What's the plan? I'm going to shoot her with this bullet. Is it a super bullet?
It looks like it's a super bullet. It's like
I guess I don't know if that's supposed to be like
it's curving it.
It's the hood.
Oh, like Wanted.
It's a wanker seeking bullet.
Oh, that's why it's heading down.
He's got special powers through. He's got special powers. So yeah, and
the power to miss.
He has gun magic.
But he misses spectacularly. Okay.
Yeah, very impressive. It can bend out of the
it's
way
a
of where it's
JFK.
aiming.
It's his JFK bullet. That's right.
Yeah.
Well done, Chad. Well done, Chad.
No. That because remember, Bucky killed JFK in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so that's
That's right. But the Smoking Man killed him everywhere else. So.
No, the other multiverses.
The other multiverse.
Dead or in jail.
This is so much bigger than that.
Man, I sure hope she punches a van and it flips.
Yeah,
that was a U-Haul, by the way, a little cameo.
It was
cameo.
The girl from
the U-Haul.
Hey,
that's not a U-Haul.
Hey,
it was on out. Well, you know, it's a
one
brand
unspecific.
No, it's not all trucks are U-Hauls.
As a U-Haul.
Is it being driven by a lesbian?
Yeah, that's how you know.
That's how you know.
I thought the person who buys it. Oh, never mind.
Hey.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow, that was so cool. I want to see this movie.
Can't wait to see this.
This is Robin Hood,
shady
isn't it?
bunker.
My bunker's not shady. Would a shady bunker have that?
Han Solo.
It's literally a
That's where
boat
he's
crate of
been.
self-guided missiles.
Han
I'm returning
Solo.
those.
Oh, no.
It's funny too.
How's his career doing? Oh,
It's
wait.
going like
Bro.
this. This is how it's going.
Look what Disney does to people, man.
No.
He was in Cocaine Bear, all right?
Dude,
It looks
I
like
thought
he-
this
it
was
looks
a
like he-
hobo they got off this tree.
It looks he took all the cocaine from the set, dude.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, it was fake cocaine, but he still did it anyway.
The Bears fired him.
He's not.
Oh.
Oh, bro.
The trailer did promise us. The trailer did promise us though that by the end she'd be dead or in prison. So I'm hoping for an exciting.
Fingers
final.
crossed.
Fingers crossed, baby.
Looks like a interesting villain origin story.
Can she be dead in prison?
But that's exactly what she's like in the comics. It's
Yes,
It's
she's a
An
fucking
insufferable
psychopath.
cow.
She's psycho in the comics.
are Tyrone, you gonna watch this all 6 episodes?
Oh, good lord.
You have to.
Yeah.
Isn't it 6 episodes over 2 weeks as well?
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Please, God.
No, I thought it was
I'm
3
going to
then
try.
weekly. So it's
I'm gonna try. Like Acolyte, like I could do it because it was you were in wonder of how bad it was every.
Oh, that'll be this. That would
Oh,
100%.
I don't know. The Acolyte was something special.
Okay, so
It could
this,
though. It
this could be
possibly.
Marvel's Acolyte. This could. Okay, so this is the point. I did this on
potential.
So on the Nooner, my guy, while we were reacting to the trailer on the Nooner, our buddy Chris contacted Chris and me while we were.
My buddy Kanye.
Yeah, my buddy
Kanye.
Yeah, my buddy Kanye, who works at Marvel. No, no. So my buddy who works at Marvel says, and I quote, "Ironheart," and I say this wholeheartedly, is the worst fucking thing Marvel has ever put out. Makes Echo look like LA Confidential.
Wow. No, he can't possibly miss it now. The final.
Don't
ending
hype me
is
up
like-
like this. Do not hype me up.
My face is like hers right now. I'm so excited.
So it's a pretty. So what he says is it's incomprehensible. Like they had to re-edit it almost 10 times.
Oh my god!
They re-edited the show
Holy
about 10 times. It was insanity. There's also no logic in it. She flies out of MIT in front of everybody, lands in Chicago in broad daylight. Next day, everyone's, who is this Ironheart? It's certainly not the girl who was on the sidewalk in the fucking Iron Man armor. Yeah, it's going to be incomprehensible. That's what I'm told. And it's just a shit show. So yeah, they're releasing 3 episodes on the first day. And then it's 3 more weeks. It's weekly after that.
So they can split between basically fiscal quarters.
They can, but it's also bleeding into July where you'll have the Fantastic Four. So they definitely listen. They couldn't bury it. They wanted to bury Echo, and they couldn't because there's contracts and you have agents. You would get sued by everybody.
Promises, obligations.
Yeah. So there was a loophole with Zaslav with Batgirl. Now everybody thinks he can do it. It's like you can't do that shit. Plus, with this one, Ryan Coogler is the executive producer, so I doubt very much they'd want to piss him off in any way, shape, or form. Not whether he thinks it's good or not. I don't know. He helped make it, develop it, so there you go. But
I think he'd be grateful.
I feel like he had no fingers in this pie.
Yeah,
he was just his name.
They just
literally
attached
just
his
Wrong, wrong Ironheart, dude.
That's what it feels like.
Oh, my bad.
I love Ironheart.
It's great. Like
was
in
so
the
much
behind the
buzz.
scenes.
Well,
In the behind
let's
the
not
scenes,
pretend that fucking Wakanda Forever is some goddamn masterpiece
It
and Ryan
sucks.
Coogler can do no wrong.
Well,
Like,
that's true.
No,
That was shit as
Wakanda
well.
Forever sucked, and Black Panther probably one of the most overrated, highest grossing comic book movies ever. Black Panther's best appearance was in Civil War. Everybody knows that.
Yes.
It's freaking great
Easily.
Civil War.
Cool.
Yeah, but he got sidelined like by a bunch of women in his own damn movie. You know,
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it, Kevin. Good job.
and instead of recasting him, which they should have done, they come out with Wakanda Forever, which was dog shit, and they fucked up Namor too. So let's not forget Namor.
Wakanda Forever was a cash grab They tried to use your sympathy for the tragic, truly tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman, and they tried to monetize that.
They exploited it. Like, he got exploited.
Disgusting.
They exploited his fucking death.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's like a fundraiser.
Absolutely fucking disgusting.
I mean, who was it said just make there? Well, there's a lot of people you could have just recasted the character, and it would have done better.
I ain't gonna lie. If they had just used Michael B. Jordan, if they had explained nothing, and all of a sudden Michael B. Jordan was Black Panther, like the next time you snapped your fingers,
I wouldn't have cared.
Would have been okay.
I disagree. I think it was a good idea to retire him as Black Panther and get a new one. I think that was the right call in terms of the tone and everything. And if they would have done it, here's the thing, if they would have done it well, I think that idea as a core was the right call. The problem was the movie sucked balls and it felt really, really insincere.
Yeah.
But here the thing I guess for me is the only time, regardless of whether it was an actor who had a falling out or regardless of whether someone actually did die and they immediately recast them, the only time they've decided to do that and make that move was when Chadwick Boseman died.
Yep.
Right.
Like William Hurt's body wasn't even fucking cold before they announced that Harrison Ford is going to be playing President Ross.
A much inferior version of it. Yes.
For sure. But it's like, it's so weird that this is the one time. And I think because it was so big, because it was so notable, and even though Chadwick Boseman said he would want the role recast, that he would want the character to continue on beyond just him, despite that his family encouraged Marvel to, I really think that they thought they could capitalize on the moment by making his death part of the movie, by trying to tug on your heartstrings and connect you to the character to the actor in that way. I think they're going to get a fuck ton of money doing it.
I think that Chadwick Boseman's tragic death, and it was tragic, cancer, he was fucking amazing in Civil War. I think that his death was a very convenient way for them to get where they wanted to get to, because they tried to do it in the comics as well, which was to push Shuri as Black Panther, and they took full advantage of that. And that's what they did, because ultimately that's where they wanted to go.
Yep.
And
I agree.
But I think that one of the reasons
the decision making,
they wanted their girl boss and they got their moment.
I think Rags is right though. Like contextually in the story, it would make sense for him to pass it down to somebody else. If you have an actor pass away, you can pass it to somebody else. But the problem was they didn't have anybody to pass it down to, and they wanted to do what
the writing was terrible. Let's think. We're having this discussion because the movie's terrible and the characters surrounding everything in it was awful. If there was another character that we really liked and really respected, and that mantle went to somebody else and it was done really well, then we'd be all like, yeah, they made the totally right call. And
they could have had Killmonger on ice, and he just wasn't quite dead, you know. He was the way that he ended the first film. They suspended him, you know, like there was.
It's Wakanda. They got the technology.
I think you recast. I think you recast T'Challa.
I disagree.
No actor is bigger than the character. They just aren't.
Yeah, and didn't T'Challa's death in the context of the MCU just happen off screen between films with no indication?
He died of a rare disease.
Because that felt jarring, and again that they were just capitalizing on the passing of the actor and then pretending that the film was a tribute to the actor's loss. When I think in the context of the MCU, I think T'Challa would have made more sense that he would have been stick around. Like Black Panther is a prominent, significant character in the Marvel universe, and they're just kind of just throwing it all away.
He's a prominent Avenger. Like he should be in every Avengers movie. But
then they turned around and killed his mom in the same movie.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
What? Can you remember how his mom died in like the bizarre tower where that got filled up with water?
Yeah.
He like fell into a hole inside of the room and got. I don't know if y'all remember that, but that was wild. That was weird.
I couldn't even remember his mom fucking died.
Yeah. It's wild that they just tried to drown all the Wakandans. They thought that was their weakness or something. I don't know how you felt about that, Tyrone, but a little on the nose for me.
I never even thought about that, but I wonder if that is a hidden joke.
Well, I mean, they're
Let's be honest, they're playing with water.
They already had a bunch of Latinos trying to cross the border into a country.
Yeah, people were breaking that down. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So this is the games you play, Kevin. These are the games you play.
Yep. We could have like Wakanda Ice fighting them. Oh God! And we haven't heard a peep out of. Well, no, isn't Namor going to be in Doomsday? Did we see his name? We did because we were surprised because there were some allegations, but apparently they were just allegations. So
they were like, "Who hasn't in this room?"
Yeah, it's like which one of these chairs doesn't have allegations? Allegations. Well, not Neil Gaiman.
Hey!
Oh, this chair doesn't have allegations.
Ah.
See, it worked this time. When I logged in this time, it worked. So we got that's right.
Dude, yeah, that's a payoff.
They know better than to open their mouths.
See, that's part of the arc, Rags. That's a payoff from a joke from weeks ago.
That's right. Because it wasn't working. It wasn't working back then, but I logged in this time.
Now it
was
does.
Ready to go. So yeah, we got some mileage out of that one. We could move right along.
We could move right along.
Hey,
so
I got a surprise.
Yeah, you know what? What wasn't a good idea? Spinning off Ironheart and spending hundreds of millions of dollars, which they did on this, only to not release it for 3 fucking years. And just they waited as long as they possibly could. They had to get this out before FF, so they waited. Is it a month? When does FF come out? Is it weeks or months?
A month. Well,
it's weeks.
It's as Ironheart is ending.
Yes,
is basically when Fantastic Four comes out.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it starts off with 3 episodes, then 1 each week, then it finishes, and then
July 25th is FF.
Yeah.
You know, there really could have been like some convenient server fire and all the footage was lost and they could just like, sorry guys, we wanted to release the show, but unfortunately where all the data was for the show, it's all gone.
It's all gone. They did have a fire in an archive, at Warner Brothers? It was
Warner Brothers,
3-4 years ago. Very tragic.
Sadly, not enough things were destroyed.
I know. Didn't get the Birds of Prey or any of the DC movies.
Like the fire broke out and it did millions of dollars worth of improvement. You know?
Well played, sir. Well played. What's
Az, you have something to talk about? A little surprise of your own?
I do have. I wanted to get my no. Rags' joke was too good. My gag's all over now. Besides, Gary wouldn't get it because it's a marathon joke anyway. But yes,
a marathon. I've run in a marathon.
No, not that type.
I think he means to go
bungee.
Oh,
yeah. Yes. I was gonna say I haven't seen a role stolen so badly until Bungie stole all the assets from Anti-Real.
There you go. That's no, that's right. That's right. That's topical.
That's good because that game's done now. It is
done. From the first, even before all the theft stuff came out, this game looked like shit.
Yes,
it looked like they took the worst aesthetic imaginable, mixed it with the most boring gameplay conceivable, and then they just said, you know what, trailer. Here you go.
So it's Concord 2?
Turn it into an extraction
Concord,
shooter.
Yeah.
Concord looks way better than Marathon, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
They all want to be the next.
Yeah,
they all want to be the
just
next.
cringe as fuck. It didn't steal all of its shit, right? It probably would have been better if it stole ideas from everyone else.
What Bungie did was they looked at Valve cooking up Deadlock, and they said, let's do the opposite of that and make it look horrifically bad. And then they just did.
But they all want to be the next Tarkov without copying any of the things that Tarkov have done and just make it for casuals. Whereas Tarkov only works because
those fucking casuals in gaming. God damn it!
There's a lot of room in the market for that mid-core kind of extraction experience.
Oh, totally, I agree.
You won't have the tension though.
He knows about it, but you have to do it well.
Gary, what's an extraction experience in the context of
That's like Tetris, right? Where you extract the blocks.
It's when you take something out of something. It's like the movie.
Yeah. It works.
Right. That's right. He's a gamer. Yeah. He's got the paddle. He's a gamer.
That's right.
Yeah, he's a gamer.
I
That's
played.
the
I played Galaga in my arcade this morning.
Congratulations!
Thank
Give
you.
yourself a fucking gold star.
This is like when that research paper.
Dude, I'm the only one. Dude, I'm the only one who plays the game as, and I'm like 10th.
You still haven't wiped the other.
But I have fun.
Dude, when I come around to your house, I'm gonna go on it, just post the number 1 and
It'll
walk
be
away.
as Gary.
But if you're sick and tired of shit on your TV screens, aka Marvel, aka Star Wars, aka you pick one right now. I am being featured in the latest Rippaverse book. It's an anthology book that is now available for pre-order at rippaverse.com. I'm sure that links are going out in the chat and hopefully in the description. That'd be great.
They are.
It's called Saints and Sinners. It's an anthology, 6 stories. Eric July and the Soska sisters of the Rippaverse are going to be writing a story each. And then it's got a story by myself, Mauler, Critical Drinker, and some guy called Drunk R2D2. And,
Sorry,
defend yourself, Jay. Defend yourself.
I was watching BBC when X-Ray Girl.
What? You were watching what?
What?
He's a
The
big
real
fan.
BBC.
The real BBC.
The real
Wakanda
BBC.
forever.
And go ahead. Yeah.
When X-Ray Girl for courage.
Yes, you did. Soska sisters and Eric July as well.
Yes. So each story is 15 pages long, apart from Mauler's, which is 16 because the long man had to get another page. Yeah, there's 5 different covers featuring from stories from myself, Mauler, Critical Drinker, and Drunk 3PO. There's also a 5th cover which has all of the main characters from our stories on there as well. It's available to pre-order now. The campaign is up right now, and Eric says that there is a chance, there's a good chance that this will actually start shipping before the campaign is even
What?
over.
Nice.
What?
Yes.
Confidence.
Wow.
Yes. And look, I've seen. I mean, obviously, I really hope that you enjoy my story. I've seen snippets from Mauler's story. That is looking crazy good. So
that is totally different what you told me privately, but go ahead.
Yeah, I said it looks absolutely fantastic to you privately.
No, you said my story's the best. They're all shit. That's what he said.
Wow.
There's no competition at all between these guys now.
No. Apart from the fact that my cover is the biggest selling cover so far. Anyway, just apart from that,
dude,
no whatsoever.
Mahler's story looks. Mahler's story.
It looks so good.
Cool. It looks very cool.
It looks so good. And then he got Will Conrad to do his art as well.
Yes.
And
yes.
Is fucking legendary artist. So it looks even better. I've got Diogenes Neves doing mine. The artwork is fantastic. I introduced a few things to the Rippaverse as well. Please go check it out. Go purchase it. We are on the cusp. It's not quite up to date what Gary's got. We've just gone over the $150,000 mark live with 4,246 books sold.
Damn.
We haven't been out, I think, 4.5 days. It's been active. So it's off to an exceedingly good start. If you want to support it, please do. Mauler, myself, these are our very, very first stories ever published. So I guess we're kind of putting our money where our mouth is,
Yeah.
We've gone from the critique side to actually putting something out there. So please go support. Pick up a cover, pick up 2, pick up all 5 if you want. And there are stretch goals if we reach certain targets.
Hardcover.
Yep.
Yeah, get Mahler's 17th page. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, true story. when Mauler, because the premise was we have 15 pages. That's it. And when Mauler submitted his story to the Soska sisters, it was 26 pages. It was like 20, and they just went, no. And Mauler's just like, I can't do it in less. And it's like, well, you're gonna have to. Eventually, they managed to get it down to 16, so he got an extra page. But I guess that kind of works for the long man.
It does. Well, congratulations, guys, and good luck. And the link will be shared in the chat. And thanks everybody in the chat who's supported it. And even if you can't afford it, maybe share it if you could. You know, it's all good.
Yeah,
we understand. So thanks everybody. We appreciate you. And should we talk about Fantastic Four next?
Yes,
real quick. I saw you reacted to this. The only one I didn't watch, Tyrone, was your reaction to my video. I'll wait. I'll do that later. but I watched all the other ones. So I think it's That Park Place has the article. And I don't know where the rumor came from, but like we talk about everything. You know, again, this show is me and my fucking comic shop. I used to sit behind the counter. People would come in. We'd talk about all the latest Reddit rumors and fucking trailers, and we'd fucking break them down meticulously like the nerds we are. This is like normal shit. Have to repeat that once in a while. But like even stuff we like, we're going to fucking pick apart because we're nerds. There's a lot of, new folk in this sphere, a lot of casuals in this sphere that get all upset about that, but it's just a fact. So Fantastic Four reshoots underway in LA just months before release. Now we heard that we did the Shalabal thing. It looks like they're probably going to give us some background. I don't know what to take from the pictures. I don't think it's in this article, but like maybe she was a tribute to Galactus from Zenlaw without, because the story is Norrin Rad sacrifices himself, and they're just gonna usurp that because they're fucking stupid. But I guess there might be more reshoots. They might be a little longer. Let's see. If this weren't a Marvel movie, there might be cause for concern. However, the Fantastic Four First Steps is currently undergoing reshoots in LA, just over 2 months ahead of the release. Is this a new one, or is it like...
This is an article from 8 days ago.
Yeah.
World of Rio.
That's World of Rio. So it's That Park Place, Garrett. That Park Place. Yeah. There we go. And yeah.
Oh, sources,
man. It's all about the sources. Marvel Studios is reportedly in panic mode over the Fantastic Four First Steps ending, according to a post user on X, William Smith. Audiences didn't respond well to films during early test screenings. The post reads, hearing the test screenings didn't go over well because the audiences didn't vibe with the ending. So now they're reshooting some scenes. I'm still hopeful it's good, but it's still worrying. Marvel really needs this one to be a home run. They do. I believe, here's my thing, and there's Shalabal. So it looks like, yeah, I think them reshooting and adding any female Silver Surfer is fucking retarded. I think they should just cut her out of the movie completely, but that's me. My theory is they have started Doomsday, and since they don't really have a finished script, they might have to add a couple of things to Fantastic Four to lead into Doomsday. That would be my theory if that's the case. While many dismissed it as speculation, the Park Place can now confirm through trusted sources close to the production that the report is accurate. Marvel is actively reshooting key scenes to change the Fantastic Four ending following disappointing feedback from the test audiences. Now, as far as test screenings go at Marvel, you don't hear a lot about them. I'm not saying they completely don't exist, but test screenings are done on the lot. They're done randomly. Chris Gore has talked about this. They basically find volunteers to come in and look, and but with what Marvel does a lot is internal stuff with just staff. And sometimes stuff like the Captain America stuff didn't make it, at least the early stuff didn't make it past their staff. So, I don't know what's going on here. Reshoots this close to release are always suspect, but I mean, they're kind of on brand for Marvel these days.
Yeah.
When those reshoots are focused on the third act, it signals something more severe than a minor correction. It suggests that the entire conclusion of this film wasn't landing, and Marvel is rewriting the climax under pressure. Again, I think it's
What's new?
Yeah, right. I think it's to fit it into Doomsday.
It's like when you said, "Oh, we got news," and then the news said, "Oh yeah, Disney's in panic mode." I'm like, well, that's not news. It's news that they're like Disney is very confident about the release of their new multi-gajillion-dollar film. It's like, oh, something new, interesting.
They're right though. They need a huge win with Fantastic Four yesterday, and this is worrying. This is legitimately worrying.
Yeah, they need a huge win
at the box office. Sinners, which has been out for twice as long as the Thunderbolts, beat the Thunderbolts.
Not a surprise.
They
need a huge hit. The issue is
what was that, Ryan?
With this movie.
I was saying, Sinners took over #1 at the box office, and there's a decent chance it holds that over the weekend.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. And without any other competition, Thunderbolts really needed to hold that #1 spot.
Somebody said this on Twitter. They're not wrong. I think it was a response because I think one of the box office sites said Sinners took over, and on the bottom they said, if they hadn't had a bunch of their IMAX screens ripped, they probably would have done better earlier. And they're not wrong. I heard they were getting some of their IMAX screens back, but not all. And it's not like throughout the day. It's just they get certain times. But
Sinners is on 800 less theaters as well than Thunderbolts.
Well, Thunderbolts was in 4,300, like
it still is.
Yeah, 4,300 theaters.
4,350, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That 4,300 is like the typical for any big Disney, release at this point in time. But considering we're this long in, and there really isn't much else, like that's an advantage for them that they're still in that many theaters. And although it is, again, it's having a better hold than Brave New World, despite it starting not as good. But internationally, it's not doing particularly well either. I think didn't Final Destination come out in India and like blew Thunderbolts out of the water, basically? So internationally, it's been a big problem for them.
Chris Gore loved Final Destination. Said it was great. Gave it 8 out of 10. The one that just came out. Or is it out? It's out now, right?
Well, I mean, technically, Thunderbolts was third on the day because the preview day for Final Destination did beat everything. But because it's a preview day, it doesn't class as a chart position.
Right.
You can take the article down, Garrett. I don't know if
the dog's going crazy.
Extensive reshoots, little reshoots. It's a Marvel movie. It's
big surprise. Must be a day that ends in Y.
Yeah, it's not like we didn't hear that with. I mean, there were reshoots with Thunderbolts, but like what we were focusing on with Captain African American is they reshot a large portion, if not most, of the movie, adding more to its budget, making it absolutely impossible to make money. And now it's completely public, admitted by Disney that it flopped. So if you want to pull up the Nielsen's, I want to double check this, but I heard Daredevil never charted on the Nielsen's.
I never saw
lots of headlines with it.
We didn't see it chart at all, which I think is the first time in history for a Marvel show.
Yep.
Even Miss Marvel, even
She-Hulk. She-Hulk charted.
Well, even like Agatha All Along, even all these things, they charted at least at some point. Now, that is going to vary, right, week to week, depending on what's out, depending on what's in the top 10, right? If you have like a stacked week where your number 10 is getting 500 million minutes watched, maybe you can say, oh, maybe that's your arguments because, but like this, you can see 10th place is, still under 400 million. That's
is that this month?
It's April.
It's April. Okay,
it's from
April.
month ago.
A month ago.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was like, I saw Reacher in there, but
Black Mirror really running away with it. Netflix is they're probably pretty happy right now.
Well, I mean, they drop everything at once, and then they also count all the previous Black Mirrors, so people watching older, they cheat basically.
Netflix.
But that's
well, it's
the
not
thing.
that they. It's hold on. It's
Well,
not that they
everybody.
cheat. It's that's how
they,
these are.
That's how they do stuff, and it really games them for this. But like everybody does it. So like if
that's why fucking
Reacher,
Grey's Anatomy with 446 episodes total is accumulating that much watch time. Bluey with 154. Right.
That's why this is the industry standards is really fucking suspect. It's just it is. But this is the industry standard. So.
And the weird thing with this was Brad Winderbaum, Marvel's head of television and animation, said it's given the fan reaction was insane. People watching it as a season 4, not a first season. They were discourse on the videos, fan made art. It's given us the confidence to making the show annually into the future. And so he thinks this is a win. He thinks everybody loved this series and it was amazing.
Well, that's PR spin as well, right?
Yeah,
you know, they're not going to be like, well, you know what? To be
sucked
honest,
and people hated it.
Yeah,
It blew.
They still got a season 2 out, or like that's they're being worked on right now. So I could be like, well, listen, we're not fucking doing this again. Holy shit.
No, but you don't have to praise. It's the same thing when James Gunn said that The Flash was his favorite movie of all time, kind of best superhero. Like, that makes you look like an idiot. It takes away your credibility. It harms you. You don't have to praise everything. You can just be silent and let it lie.
You're just a shill. Like, sorry, like I know you're James Gunn. I know you got a lot of money in this, but you made your choice.
Real
I
quick,
agree with you that they don't need to do some of these PR spins. I'm just saying that just because he's saying that doesn't mean that he actually genuinely thinks it's a win. They're just doing everything they can to salvage what they can.
We just got to stop playing this
higher class of propaganda.
Right. But real quick, Tyrone, you have to go. But thank you for being here. Appreciate you, man. Go subscribe to Tyrone Magnus, and he reacts to the videos. He makes his own videos. He's a good dude.
Thank you.
Great talking to you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Tyrone.
Tyrone. Thank you. So, the era of like coming out and just bullshitting people now, like does need to fucking end. Disparu. It's like you don't have to sit there and go. It'd be refreshing to go. You know what, man? We put our best into this, but God, that sucked. We'll try better next time. Yeah. Nobody expects that. But like coming out and saying the Flash is the best fucking superhero movie, like that's such bullshit.
Yeah.
And then it just makes you not believe anything the guy says. And you know, again, I understand the mentality. If you're a sports fan, fucking baseball GMs fucking lie all the time. All GMs lie all the time. You know, they have to. But you know, we're entering into a different era where if you show a little humility, it'll make you feel more human, and it's much more charming, and people might give you a second chance instead of we're just going to lie, even though we're completely failing right now.
But people want you to succeed. It's why Mission Impossible, people give Tom Cruise such leeway, because they want his movies to be good, because he comes across as such a nice guy. You're like, okay, the last one maybe wasn't the best. Hopefully this one's so much better, though. Rather than other projects, like you'll watch a trailer, and this is going to be ass. I know it's ass. I know everyone involved in this is going to make it awful.
Yeah, this is just like Mon Mothma's speech at the Galactic Senate, where she said the difference between the truth and what people know and what they say is a vast gulf. Oh, it's all coming together.
It's all coming together. Oh, was that our segue into Andor?
I think so.
Ryan! Yeah. Andor. A show that ended. A show that was really fucking expensive. A show that's been a little polarizing. Would you say? Just a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Polarizing.
No, I don't feel like it should be, but I will say this though, regardless of how you feel about the quality of the writing and everything, this is one of the Disney productions where you can see that budget.
Yep.
Ooh, boy, you can see that budget. This is a gorgeously well-made show.
I agree. From a production standpoint, you can actually see, well, I guess why this costs hundreds of millions of dollars when you're building all these massive sets. The unfortunate thing is, like we'll always talk about with Andor, is that regardless of how good you think it is or trash you think it is, even if it is the best, a 10 out of 10, it's not geared towards an audience or enough of an audience that is going to tune in to make it worth your while when you spend that much money on it. So it's like financially unsustainable to do something like this.
What I would say though, kind of to carry on to that is I think that at least what I think they've done here is Andor is something that it has it's kind of an investment in a sense, maybe not financially, but I think Star Wars needs something in it now more than ever that it can at least have a positive reputation and that will actually last and stand the test of time, which I think Andor will as a show. You're going to be able to watch this, you know, years and years into the future going down the road, and it's gonna hold up. It's not necessarily tied to anything else. And lately, it's kind of like what we were talking about the Nielsen ratings for Daredevil. I think one of the reasons that Daredevil has done so poorly in terms of its reception, not only because the quality is so bad and why so many people don't want to watch it, is because Disney they've done such a terrible job at getting people, like giving people confidence in anything that they make, so that even a show like or even a character like Daredevil that has 3 quite good seasons and is very well regarded and held in high esteem can release something and it does terribly because just no one's got any faith in it. But I think that Andor, again, regardless of what you think about its quality or anything, is sort of something that could be pointed to as, oh, like that's like someone gave a shit. Someone clearly gave a shit about writing this and about putting everything together, making it look good. And I think that this is sort of a reputation boost that Star Wars desperately needs.
But it's kind of the best of the worst, though.
I disagree. Well, I disagree. I think Andor is quite good in terms of its quality.
No, I agree that the quality of the show is done rather well. I mean, you know, cinematography wise, yeah, set wise, it's great, but there's a lot of issues with it, and it really is kind of the best of the worst because, you know, Star Wars at this point is garbage. And yes, this is definitely better than the Acolyte or other shows that we've seen, Ahsoka, but it's got a lot of fucking problems.
I think when I look at this show, I think that it is pretty much the only thing that's come out. I agree, like by process of elimination, it is the best of the worst.
Yes.
However, I think that when you look at the show, I think they had a plan. I think they knew exactly what they wanted to do with these characters. I think one of the biggest weaknesses, Andor's the least interesting character in the show, but there are a lot of other very interesting characters.
There's a lot of excellent characters in the show. It has an impressively large amount of there is diverse characters who come from different places, have different attitudes, their own reasonings for things, and just aesthetically speaking, are in different locations and are surrounded by different things that I think makes it feel fresh.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There are things I do like about the show. There is a lot of good here. That it's unfortunately bogged down with a lot of bad as well. And yeah, there's the Empire stuff. I know that Ryan's pointed out is done very well. The intrigue I really have enjoyed, but there's like those first 3 episodes of this season were just complete garbage.
I super disagree that the first 3 were complete garbage. I think there are scenes
rock,
that
paper scissors, man. Come on.
You're right. They do rock paper scissors. The 3 episodes must be garbage.
Well,
True.
there's the wedding and the dancing.
Example. The wedding is dragged out so much.
I think it really drags in the beginning.
The Mon Mothma stuff is the best in terms of its writing quality in its first 3 episodes. We should have got more of that.
I think what was bad about it, Connor?
What's that?
What was bad about it?
Well, it's like, okay, for example, you have the TIE fighter heist at the very beginning, which it went absolutely nowhere. It would have made more sense. Something Ryan pointed out too is like the theft of the X-Wing, because it was initially developed for the Empire and the Rebels ended up stealing it. I would have loved to have seen that, and they didn't have that in there at all.
Well, if they had the TIE fighter heist, but it was done really well, and they completely rejigged the whole element of the bandits in the woods, then it would be great. Just changing it to an X-Wing wouldn't have changed anything.
Well, I agree with you there. Just changing to X-Wing wouldn't have fixed anything, but it's the idea of that there's certain things that just didn't make sense. They could have done something different. That's my point.
Yeah, I'd say the first 3 episodes are the weakest that the show is, and then I think that the quality
first
improves
half
substantially.
I think it improves in the second half.
I think one of the problems with the first 3 episodes, now in retrospect, having seen everything, there's certainly some things that start groundwork for things that do pay off a little bit later. However, when you go back in retrospect and you realize we've only got 12 episodes to tell this story, I think that there's some things. I think a lot of the Mon Mothma wedding stuff, one, I'm fine with in general everything they did with it. I think some of it was a bit, I don't want to say drawn out, but a bit repetitive, some of the conversations they had with each other. between her and Luthen. Now, I think some of those conversations are excellent, and maybe one of the best lines in the show where Mon Mothma doesn't even understand what he's talking about when he's going to kill her friend.
Yeah.
And he's like, how nice for you that you don't understand the shit I have to fucking deal with.
And stuff like that is great. I really enjoy that stuff.
There's some interesting kind of writing practices that are often frowned upon and people warned against. And so in epic fantasy, there's a thing called like the info dump or world building disease, where people get so obsessed with their world where you're in a story and then suddenly it pauses. It's like, oh, you pass a ruin. And then the narrative suddenly talks about that ruin and the history of it and the battle and everything. And it bogs down the story because it's completely irrelevant to what's happening. And I think that's what we see in Andor, especially that wedding stuff. The stuff with the daughter felt like a complete distraction to the larger plot. Yes, it was related to Mon Mothma, but so much of that could have been condensed or
the stuff with the what, sorry?
The daughter, Mon Mothma's daughter, and the wedding. And I know it was building up to a good moment. Yes, it was building up to a good moment with the conflict about her friend and him potentially betraying them and how they're going to deal with that, right? But so much of the world building aspects that they indulged in just dragged out and were unneeded, and ultimately is like
what would some other examples be in your mind?
Well, walking up the mountain, the conflict with the daughter, and
they have conversations while they're walking up the mountain,
really
well, no, you're just talking about
marriage sequence, and all of that is stuff that bogged down the overall narrative when I'm interested in the rebellion and stuff, but it seems like the writer's saying, all right, let's pause and go and indulge in this aspect of world building, which dragged it out, made it boring when there were, and that's annoying because there were good elements that I was interested in, but by the time we got then, you've just spent all this time trying to show us this world that you love, but I'm interested in the story.
Again, go back to those first 3 episodes. When I'm talking about what I think they missed some opportunities and could have been condensed a little more and maybe used an extra episode. For me, the weakest point of these year time jumps, now that we've seen everything, is probably in between year 3 and year 4, so that we can have a little bit more focus on specifically Luthen before the episode 9. And we understand a little bit more about, we understand why people inherently have a distrust for Luthen, but why everybody, once we get the reaction in episode 12, how everybody so vitriolically is like so doubtful that Luthen, who's given all these people all this stuff, that he would just be like, oh, this is probably just bullshit, as opposed to just genuinely consider the crazy information that you've just gotten that people have died for. So when I look at what the Ferrix survivors are doing, I feel like a lot of that was a little bit of wasted time and some repetitive, oh, we got to go. We're waiting for Cassian. Oh, I guess we got to go. Cassian's still not back. Well, we got to get ready to go. Cassian's not back. That we could have used that combined with a couple little condensing from the Mothma scenes where we could have fit an extra episode in there that I kind of feel like I was missing. And then,
yeah, I'd say the weak. I mean, like I said, I think the weakest part of the show is the first 3 episodes. And a lot of that is due to what they decide to spend some of their time on. And I do think there's really good stuff in the first 3 episodes, but if it was up to me, there would definitely be parts that say, yeah, this is going to go, we're going to rejig this around to where this goes there. But I'd say that those are some fair weaknesses. I didn't start out this season. I started out liking it, but I definitely had those like, kind of worried, was a little shaky in some of the decisions that were made in that regard. But, by the time episode 4 hit, I was like, oh shit, we definitely have something going on here, and it definitely feels back.
Okay. Yeah, I want to talk about some spoilers of these last 3 episodes because I find them very interesting. I feel they are easily the strongest 3 episodes of the series, yet there also are 3 parts, big parts in these last 3 episodes that annoy me the most out of the entire series. And that's kind of what I want to talk a little bit about because, for instance, Daedra, is she, to throw out a question to people who have watched it, would you say that she's supposed to be an intelligent character?
The blonde chick?
Yes.
Yes. I think she's an intelligent character that has a lot of character flaws.
Yes. Daedra is very intelligent.
I feel that, yes, they've set her up to be an intelligent, insightful character who is able to perceive, you know, how things will play out and stuff like that. And so her action at the beginning of episode
9,
is it 9? Yeah. Felt
10,
brain-breakingly retarded. I think it like broke the character for me, where she does something so astronomically stupid to ruin all her work that she had worked with throughout the entire series, to go in alone and give this guy, the guy she's been hunting for so long, every opportunity to kill himself, which is exactly what he goes to do. And I was just thinking, okay, now she's a retard. What? Now, what is actually going on?
That seems like something that she would exactly do.
She would her drive and ambition and ego. Yeah. Like I've definitely got my criticisms of the show. It's not her going in and doing that. It's been set up.
There's an excuse for a consistent element of her character we've seen for 2 seasons.
There would be a difference between not taking along your higher-ups that would take credit for your actions and not going in without armed soldiers to immediately arrest him. There was no need for the conversation. She saw he had a knife, he showed it to her, and she's just wandering off and letting him do whatever he wants. After she's already told him, I've caught you.
She wants to be the one to get him.
Yeah, because she thinks that she's got him.
No, that's so dumb. She gives him every opportunity to do something in response. Like what would be in line with her character, instant arrest, no opportunity, jump on him in surprise, lock him down in the interrogation room, and that's where she comes in and gloats to him as she's done in the past, like she did with Cyril and everything like that. This was breakingly dumb for her character, but it was the writers wanting to achieve something, a goal in the story and narrative, which was the conflict, the I got you kind of moment, but taking the lazy way out and doing something that was contrary to her.
Her being the one to go in there first in person with the data cube in the very base that he's been using after all this time was absolutely very much a part of what she wanted to do for her own ego and her sense of pride.
Give him every opportunity to kill himself.
She did, and she made a ton of mistakes. Like, and
that's what I mean. Is she supposed to be a smart character? This is what an idiot
she is, but
she wants to do it one-on-one.
Yes.
She's overly ambitious. She's constantly sticking her nose in other people's business, and she does have a rather inflated ego.
Yes.
She wants this to be a private, intimate 1v1. I finally found you after all of these years of searching for you.
I didn't think he would kill himself.
Being doubted by her peers constantly, and like we find out later, she's like she admits to looking at information she shouldn't have. She was doing a lot
mistakes because she could use it to get ahead. This is like 100% in line with her character. It's been so consistent.
No. It's not justified by the intelligence of a character. It's way too dumb. If she had spent all these years working towards this final moment, and then she risked it all by going in alone. It's like
a reason.
I could accept it if she's supposed to be a stupid idiot, but she's not. That's my issue.
Gloat with him being restrained.
No. You need to. You guys have this weird mistake where you think that if you're intelligent, that supersedes every other aspect of your personality, which is bizarre, and you both know that it isn't true.
No. There's a limit.
No one's even said that.
Intelligent.
You've just come up with that yourself.
Yeah, no one said that. There's a limit, and
because
I would
every
think
time
that this
you say
moment
this, you
is
say,
the thing that she's been planning for so much that she would be meticulous in its execution that he would not get away. And
the fact that she has been planning for this long and wants it so much is the reason why she was so prideful and wanted this 1v1 more than anything else. It's because of that effort.
She brought down by her pride. Down by her pride. That was it.
And I think I do have a few, like, look, I think that the Luthen episode, I think Luthen is probably the best character that Disney Star Wars has ever created. I think you could say, look, I don't know why Luthen was so bad at fucking killing himself. Okay.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
I do have an issue with that. Yes.
Right.
I have a big issue.
Why would he do his stomach?
Well, he should have slit his throat and basically made sure that he could never speak.
I feel like we can all like. There's a better way to kill yourself with that knife than just shove it in your gut.
Right.
Definitely agree.
It's going to prevent you from doing that. Now, I think they wanted that so they could get the Clea sequence and all of that. But I think some of that was like competently done, but I think they kind of made a silly decision to have it set up that way, as opposed to getting some scenes with Luthen in the interrogation room, like before some of this stuff happens, and then find a way to make somebody or get somebody to go in there and kill him before he speaks. And I think you have the opportunity to have Luthen have some more conversations. And I think that would have been better. I would have liked that more. And I think it could have made more sense than him being so bad at fucking killing himself, yet still somehow being alive that you need to kill him.
I do think that they did miss an opportunity to have him be conscious when she arrives to kill him and giving them some chance to have some sort of final words or anything. That would have been an interesting thing to see. Now, I do think they totally sell like how much she doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But she knows that she has to. But it would have been really nice to get that.
It almost feels like that would have come off as a little like cliche, you know?
I was expecting him to wake up when she unclasped the thing and then they give looks, but it didn't happen. I was like, oh, I mean, fair enough.
And I'm okay with them not doing that. But in terms of Dedra going in there, look, the advantage that Luthen had in that situation was that Lonnie had just came and told him this stuff an hour or two before. That's why he's destroying everything. Like, that's the only reason that Luthen had a chance to destroy that stuff. And Dedra obviously knows nothing about that. She thinks she has the complete jump on him and is gloating in her victory that's taken 4 years to achieve. And I think it is a character flaw for her, and it's consistently been a character flaw for her.
I did like that he seemed to know he was about to get caught, because she says, I'll go and burn it. He's like, no, you go away. I will do this. She's like, well, I'm faster than you. It's like, no, this is my job. So I like that he took on that burden. Yeah.
So then why did he answer the door when she knocked? I
would expecting DoorDash.
I would assume with his
I would assume he
has
like
all these contingencies and plans. Like, look at his spaceship. It has all these.
No, he was absolutely prepared to die. He was. He said he has a whole conversation with Andor going, we're not getting out of this. We're dead.
He goes to look and see who it is, and she sees him not answering the door. Then they just barge in.
They're going to barge in and go in.
Which is why to Shad's point about how some of this feels a little like they took the short way. I do kind of agree that similar to Luthen being so bad at killing himself, it's hard for me to believe that there's not some kind of dead man switch in that building.
Yeah, something to blow it up.
Yeah,
including himself if need be, like if this time comes.
Or an exit strategy, like has been there for years and he doesn't have a back door to escape, even if people think it's surrounded or something like that. And it's already been shown that he's a planner and he has all these contingencies. Look at his spaceship; it has all these hidden gadgets ready to get him out of a tight spot.
Wants to,
and now
but he's holding them up to let Kayla leave. Clea, sorry, yeah. Clea. I don't know all the fucking names. I don't care. I think there's much bigger problems than this, Shad. Like earlier on, I thought the last 2 of the last 3 episodes were really good. Some of the most compelling Empire stuff we've ever seen throughout this. Best gear porn, best production value Disney Star Wars ever done. I think in moments it actually kind of feels like what we all wanted in the beginning. I thought we thought Star Wars would grow up a little bit and be a little more earnest. This is the most earnest Star Wars has been since for a long fucking since the original trilogy. All right, this is the earnest in moments, but there's still fucking Disney Star Wars shit in this, like 100%. And I like the fucking lesbians, and it's not just the fact that they're lesbians, but they're there just the fact that they're lesbians because their stories don't fucking pay off. They could be removed from this fucking show completely, and nothing changes. They were completely useless characters.
Really? Wait. The ones who organized the Gora assault.
As somebody else could have. So they buried their gag, and what did they do with the waif at the end? She did nothing. She just she helps Bix a little bit at the end and does fucking nothing.
She was there to have Mon Mothma get Andor to tell her what she already knew was
it was fucking pointless.
That
was dumb.
It was so shoehorned in, and it's cringe. And there's cringe in it. There is. But there's also fucking in season 1, all the prison shit was fucking great, dude. Like they actually got prison culture down pretty well too. I thought that was pretty cool. Andy Serkis was great. Luthen's, like you guys said, best fucking character Disney Star Wars. I would even agree with Mahler. That's a Star Wars character. It's a pretty good Star Wars character, but it also doesn't fit into Disney Star Wars at all. This is the last time you're going to see anything like this. Tony Gilroy's going to go off and do other stuff. We're right back to fucking Dave Filoni and all the shit after this. And if people want to,
We agree.
Yeah, if people want to enjoy this,
we're
fine.
Screwed. We're fucked.
The writing in this is leaps and bounds above anything that Dave
Oh,
Filoni
hell
has
yeah.
ever put out
Easy.
in his entire career of Star Wars.
But
I do like
way above everything else. Not even
things
close.
for me, like the Luthen episode for me turned into a Clea episode. And although I do think it's like, and that's the thing, it's like I think a lot of the things are well done in it, but it does feel like for the send-off for Luthen that a lot of us are hoping for, kind of why I wish we had an extra episode in there maybe to get more of the Luthen stuff in between the third and the fourth arc. Because really we get little snippets of him talking to Clea in the flashbacks, but it really is a her story at the end of like really the last 3/4 of the episode, it feels.
And more of that robot beating people up. I loved him. He was
the extraction stuff was pretty badass.
What was his
Yeah,
name, Kevin?
him using as a shield.
Using the guy as a meat shield was fucking great.
That was cool.
That was funny as hell.
Look, I really liked that she was sneaking in to kill Luthen instead of saving him. That was like consistent with their tactics, and
It would have taken longer to save him.
This is essentially her father, and so that moment where she has the tear and she kisses him goodbye and everything, brilliant, right?
Yeah,
and
really
so
well
there's
done.
some really good stuff in it. But that's what makes the stuff that are like I feel done poorly frustrate me far more in these episodes than other ones because of the good that what was there. I have a subjective, complaint, and I'm not saying it's out of his character, but it makes me like him less. Where I think Luthen literally just murders that informant.
I liked it. He had to. He had to.
I'm not sure.
No, he did have to, and I'll tell you why. I talked to Mueller about this last night.
The ginger man.
So he gets Lonnie because Lonnie's burnt at that point, and he's worried about his family. And the only option Luthen had, because Lonnie specifically said they're on our tail, they might be on us right now. The only thing he had to play was to kill him. And if you think about it, Chad, that's the best.
This one I can be convinced on. It still doesn't make me like him more, though.
That's the best he could have done for the family, because now he's a dead end, and they won't be searching for his family. And that's how they treat it.
Yeah, it was the correct tactical thing to do. And Luthen Rail, he can see
doesn't make me like him.
A huge.
No, Luthen's terrible.
I don't think it's supposed to make you like him. The question is, does it fit with his character?
I think it does.
Luthen is the operative in Serenity. He's a monster, and he even has a speech with Andor. He's like, "I've got no place in the rebellion."
The tools of my enemies to defeat them is one of his big element of his speech from the first season. He is not supposed to be a morally good character. He is the necessary terrible element that has to be done to win a larger thing. And it's like he said, you have to lose and lose and lose and lose and lose until you can win.
I brought this up before, but they retcon. This is a retcon, but it's from the 2000s, like maybe a little before, at the Brubaker era. No, I can't remember now because I'm old. But Bucky, Captain America was out there being all the hero, and and Bucky would be doing the assassinations in the background, or like Cap, because he's a good guy, he's like, I'm gonna let this guy live, and he'd walk away, and Bucky would fucking slit his throat. Like that's kind of what he did. So Bucky did a lot of the dirty work, but that's what Luthen is. Luthen's the unnecessary evil. I mean, it's like. And
you mean the necessary evil?
The necessary evil. Sorry, necessary. Sorry, necessary, unnecessary.
It sucks because Ironheart is the unnecessary evil.
Thank you.
Wasn't he in Titanic too? He was like the old guy in Titanic.
There was a sequel to Titanic.
And it's uncomfortable because of how many times Lonnie has come through super clutch for them. Right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Lonnie is the reason that they knew the ISB had a mole with Bail Organa's team, right? Lonnie helps get the fucking speaker out. Like, Lonnie has come through so many times, and in the very end, when he's done everything in his power. Now, I will say, Lonnie made a mistake by accessing that shit, setting off the red flag, and then trying to use that to force Luthen to help him. He did make a mistake doing that. Is very reckless.
But
cost him his life.
Very in character for him to do so.
Yeah, but in the very moment of him giving the most. Now, is this the most important information the Rebel Alliance ever received? potentially, but it's undermined by the film Rogue One, where all the information that he's giving is just given by
don't
the
get me
pilot in Rogue
started
One.
on Rogue One. Don't even give me started. So Ryan,
and literally, like it's annoying because every sacrifice Luthen does and everyone does at the end of these 3 episodes is literally the same information that gets given to them easily in Rogue One by the defecting pilot.
But that's in the future. They don't know that.
Yeah, I know
yet.
that.
Okay, Andor. We'll talk.
The future can't undermine the past. That's
Ryan. So I agree with you. I heard you on Open Bar, and this was like, and I said it on the stream. I thought they did Bail Organa dirty. I think they did him fucking dirty. Yeah, and I think like from the get-go they had done him dirty. Like part of his staff was infiltrated. You know, and like
so like the reality. And this is now I talk about this when it's relevant to talk about it. To me, this is all they're redoing stories. They're retelling stories that have already been told before. They retconned everything. They threw it in the fucking trash, and now they're doing it over. They're recycling it. Originally, Bail Organa is the one who rescues Mon Mothma, right? Now around the same time frame, Bail Organa is the one who tips off Mon Mothma and gets her out when the Emperor's finally fed up with her speaking out. And Bail Organa, very important character, obviously. I did not like the fact that he was so fucking resistant to believing anything that Andor said to him. Now, there's some caveats out there. I 100% agree why everybody in the room that had any experience with Luthen has reason to be somewhat hesitant because of Luthen's history, because of things that maybe they know people have gotten killed for this, like all these things. However, the idea that he would come to them with this information, and it's not even like, hey, go here right now and do this. That's not what it was. It was like, hey, the Empire's building a fucking weapon. This project is a farce. Like all these things are connected. Everyone needs to know about this now. The idea that Bail Organa, for some reason, be so fucking resistant, and he's the one that's standing in the way, and I hated that shit.
Well, a lot of the other people that it could be fed information because of the time scale of Luthen's plant, Jung. Which is a fair concern to have, because it's been brought up in the show before that you could be getting purposefully fed the wrong information, which has specifically been done by the
that gets brought up
this season.
But I think Luthen dying for it, and I think Bail Organa having like you would think he would have a better view than anybody of the big picture, considering he knows, like he's got one of fucking Anakin's children at his fucking house. So I think, and he knows there's a Jedi out there still. So, and he even mentions it earlier. He's like, oh, we have a plan. You know, when Mon Mothma's like, do we have even plan? He's all, we have a plan.
Yeah.
You know, and that might be alluding to that or not. They really backseated him, man. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I
feel like it could have been with other characters. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't like that they used Bail Organa for that. I didn't like that they took to me, in that moment, to have Mon Mothma, you know, want to believe Cassian and want to believe this and like all this stuff. I didn't like that they can, in my mind, continue to elevate her and she has the right instincts and he didn't. It was something small, but it bothered me when I was watching it.
I don't know. I think he gives her like not unreasonable advice, and I don't think he does anything that's foolish or out of the way, considering the circumstances of like where he got the information, who it was from, that person's connections and contact with everybody, especially the intervals of it's been a year since Andor had even talked to Luthen. There's a lot of this that should raise a lot of suspicion, and you shouldn't just jump on it.
And that's one of the reasons I said I wish we had an episode in between there, because. And it's not like this was action like, hey, go here and do this like it's a trap or something.
Yeah.
It's literally just passing information.
It's passing information. And I think you would at least think about like, well, this is an empire that like took over the galaxy pretty quickly with a lot of technology. Would it be out of the realm of possibility that they developed a planet killer? No, not at all.
The Emperor couldn't possibly have been using the Senate for this.
They didn't know it was a planet-killing weapon.
Well,
they did not.
Which makes it even more likely they believe it. It's a weapon.
At least they weren't doing
specific
insider
question
trading.
that the Mon Calamari guy asks is like, well, what kind of weapon?
Right. They don't know what exactly the Death Star is. They just know it's a really big project.
They don't even know.
And they're building a huge weapon.
And they destroyed a planet for
power,
it.
that the entire power narrative, the energy project, I should say, has been a cover for the entire time.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I really like that because I know the movies pretty well. I like Star Wars as an IP. I mean, the only thing that's canon to me are basically the prequels, the originals, and Andor. But when it comes to, I've always kind of had this question in my mind, like, how do you hide this? Surely everyone knows about the Death Star. So I like that there was this, thing, and I don't know if they're pulling from other material. You'd have to let me know, but I like the idea that the energy program as an initiative is just a cover up for the Death Star, and how secretive and how seriously they treat the secrecy of the Death Star in this show, which I really like. Which, hey, any more reason to have, Ben Mendelsohn is like, hey, I'm for it, man.
He was great.
He's so good.
It's like what a real government
Krennic
would
was
do.
awesome. Krennic and Partagaz, and it's like, oh, we had so many just good.
Oh, Qyburn was great, dude.
The Imperial shit is the best part about the show.
Yep.
I think in general, I would agree. Yeah, overall, yeah. It's so well done. Thank God we finally got a competent Empire. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no kidding. That's definitely one of the highlights of the show.
So they're competent, but you can see the flaws and you can see the problems with the power structure, right?
Yeah.
Because the same fear that they're instilling on the entire galaxy and the same oppressive nature, they have that within their own ranks. So you have people being so afraid to fail or be the one that gets blamed for something that sometimes they might not bring something up. Sometimes they might try to cover something up or not say anything or not ask a question in fear of being punished. You have people that are constantly trying to seek approval and go around each other and maybe try to get in on this to get a little more credit, to get ahead. And the way that everything's structured, and that if you're blamed for one of these bad fuck ups, you're going to end up in prison just like all these other people, or you're going to end up where you don't want to go anywhere. You just put a fucking blaster bolt through your brain.
They're very diverse space Nazis. That's
Partagaz I really liked as a character. And one of the things that I like when things happen in the plot that is, I feel, properly justified and in line with character as well and built up. And so his failure when he is trying to orchestrate the arrest of the girl, and the fact that they can't get any more units in because they've been dispatched, because they say previously they dispatched everyone to look for her. And because of that, there was no available backup to arrest him. And therefore the arrest fails and stuff like that. And that's really, I felt that was really well done. And then of course leads to such a stuff up, he decides to put a blaster bolt in his head versus the other fate. And so a good example, I feel, of a failed arrest where the arrest of the opening with these 3 episodes I got annoyed with. But Partagaz was good.
Yep.
I'm going to speak for, I think, a lot of people. It's great to point out things when they're good and you enjoy them. It's really awesome. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. This is Disney Star Wars, and it's not canon. You don't care about any of this.
No, anything Disney makes isn't canon just by virtue of it being Disney.
There's going to be a lot of people who think that, and you can't blame them.
After 2012,
it's either all got to be canon or none
else.
of it, surely.
Well, no, not at all.
You can.
I mean, it's official blah 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 canon, but none of us here go by that. So
I mean, every fan gets to choose what they want to think is canon or not.
For me,
what is canon is what
and then we fight about it.
George Lucas created to when he sold it in 2012. That's it. That's Star Wars. All this other stuff is Disney garbage crap. And I like the same thing. If this is good, awesome. It ain't going to stay that way. This is not the direction that everything's going.
No,
it's going in return.
No, it didn't change my mind at all. Didn't change my mind at all. And out of curiosity, morbid curiosity, I fired up Rogue One afterwards, and I know some people said it made it better, and I'm like, it makes it 1,000 times fucking worse.
Rogue One makes it
worse.
I love there's contradictions between the two.
I love that Cassian's sitting there like in these close romantic potentially moments with Jyn Erso while his baby mama is slaving away on a fucking wheat planet somewhere.
That's why it's like Rogue One doesn't like fuck it. Like Andor is so much better than Rogue One. Rogue One has like 5 minutes of a neat battle at the end in parts.
That's it.
And then it's just like K2SO has some funny lines, but that's it. That's it.
K2SO's the best character in the movie.
As soon as Jyn Erso gets on the screen, fuck, dude, it's so cringe.
Horrible.
Go back to Bix. She's so much better.
And Garrett, for me, 100. This show could be a 10 out of 10 for me, and I still wouldn't. I still would be upset and pissed about what they've done to Star Wars and the fact that, look, I've seen how the Death Star plans were stolen. I've read books about the Death Star. I've experienced all of these fucking stories, the creation of the rebellion, the things Mon Mothma and Bail Organa did. Like, so that to me is the story before Disney came in and axed it. For me, I just have to be honest about what I'm seeing on screen, and to me, Andor is the best thing that they've done. And I have criticisms. I think there's more than anything. I think this show for me is massive missed opportunities. For things like specifically, one of the problems that I think some people have with the show is that it's almost exclusively humans. And
let me ask, I agree. Where are the we need more aliens. I think as the show went on, we start to see more and more, but they were background and they looked great.
They did when in the hospital when she's rolling around the little grandma. I liked that, and she's not wow. That was cool.
Springy and I, and a lot of, especially, it's like, man, everyone's a human. This is Star Wars.
That's a good point.
Let's see some different characters, even if
and especially in a show like this, which I think a big point of the show is to show what the rebellion or what the Empire does, what it does to normal everyday people, how they feel crushed under the boot of this, and also the inner workings of it in and of itself. The lines to which different people get pushed before they say, fine, enough is enough, I'm going to rebel. And what they do with that, their motivations. They're like so many things like that are in this show. And for an empire that historically there has been anti-human feelings from the Empire, right? The Empire doesn't love aliens, right? They're very much a human-centric organization in general.
Yep.
And so for the idea that when we know Wookiees, Mon Calamari, all these different species that have been enslaved, entire fucking species, and you're already showing a genocide, right? The Gorman massacre and what they're doing to that planet in this show. The idea that you miss off on all those opportunities to explore those actual alien cultures and it's just full of humans is I don't know why they didn't do it, other than maybe they didn't feel like they could convey the same emotions while acting on screen with aliens. I don't fucking know. But it's a missed opportunity. And it's one of the things that makes this not feel like a Star Wars show to some people.
Remember when the lady was pushing around the alien in the floating wheelchair, and then like because she snuck into the hospital, and the alien was just like like I don't know. He sounded like, was that supposed to be a woman? I don't know.
It was supposed to be an old woman.
The dialogue was
grandma. It was a grandma.
It suited the scene, but I was like, this is retarded. This has.
I liked it.
What about what about it? What about it was retarded? Sorry.
I didn't like the fact that it was just like undiscernible grunts, but I know it suited the scene because
that's Star Wars.
It was alien language.
I wanted to see subtitles.
It was just an old grandma who was just kind of not really, she's in the hospital.
To me, my criticism of it would be that it was almost so it was almost so kind of campy and out of nowhere in a fucking episode that is so I think highly tense,
That's my concern about it was, it was a little amusing, but like tone, this is really serious shit that's going down right now. She's going to go kill Luthen Rail, who's basically like a weird quasi father to her. And he's a character who's beloved. Like, come on.
It was straight because like if that happens in Attack of the Clones, I'm not going to bat an eye, right?
Yeah.
But in this specific episode,
that's a goofy bad movie.
You're like,
correct.
oh yeah, there's aliens. That's what it is. Okay. Hey, there's going to be a lot more Andor talk tomorrow on EFAP.
That's right. You need
Ryan
to be there.
And Rags. It'll go 9 hours, and you'll get that perspective. I'm kind of. I'm in the middle, man. I'm with Garrett. I am an objective observer of Star Wars now or Disney Stars because I don't care. I'm not going to watch this again. I think there's a much better show out there called Mobland that you should be watching. Highly recommend that.
I need to keep
Chainsaw.
Dude, Mobland is
best show on TV.
Fucking best show, best cast on TV. I do not recommend you subscribe to Disney Plus. If you really need to see Andor, go to Tortuga.
Go to visit your friend who's got it. Yeah.
Go to visit your friend who's got it. There you go.
Visit your friend who's got it.
I can't wait to be on this stream and get called an Andor defender, and then tomorrow I'll be called an Andor hater.
You'll be called.
Well, yeah. Even in the chat, it'll be like, Rags can't see any of Andor's flaws. He's just a bootleg. It's like, okay, it's all right. It's all right. Just let everyone know you're not listening. It's all good. EFAP tomorrow. Be there or be square.
Be there, be square. But real quick, Mark Miller. I call him Mark Millar. I've been calling him that forever because he's got a fucking A in his last name.
Mark Millar.
Is it his daughter who's doing
Yes.
a book? Yes. His daughter is doing a book called Bird Dad. So he asked us to shout it out there. This is Mark Miller's daughter who's doing a little book. If you want to back it or check it out, go ahead. But he's proud of his little kid, and that's cool.
Aww.
Yeah, good for her. Look for some. There she is.
Is she like an adult? Wait,
Yeah, she's a grown woman and not a baby like Gary just made out.
Like his
Dude.
7-year-old daughter wrote this.
That's what I was thinking when you were talking.
She's a woman.
This is an adult.
I'm like, oh, this is great. She's
See, that's how fucking old I am because I still talk about my kids like that. And they're all grown too, so it's a kid.
But it's like a kid's story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a kid's story.
It's for kids.
Yeah, and if you want to back it, go ahead. Mark's going to have some news coming up, I think, soon, right? As some news on some things.
On some stuff.
On some things that some people might find pretty fucking exciting.
Pretty fucking amazing.
Pretty fucking amazing. So keep an eye out for that at the end of the month, right? Right around a little after Memorial Day.
Can we get away with saying something that you probably would have always wanted to have seen is going to happen?
Okay. Boy, I already gave out one hint. Something, yes. Okay, no, I'll keep it vague. Something you've wanted that you've like, we're never going to see this.
Yes.
This is as close as it's going to get. And when you hear it, you'll know.
Yeah.
And when you hear it, you'll know.
You know.
When you know, you know.
Can I guess?
Short arms.
Sure.
That guy that we always complain about who isn't writing that final book and he's
George
lazy.
R. R. Martin.
Yeah.
No.
Who's that guy?
No.
George R. R.
Mark
Martin
Miller
is
Game of Thrones.
again.
yeah,
and he
everybody
lost the
got it.
weight. So.
Oh, George R. R. Martin wants everybody to stop complaining about Wins a Winner, and he hasn't blogged since. And it's fucking done. It is toast.
Yeah,
That
well,
book
if I was him, I'd want people to stop complaining too, but too fucking bad.
too fucking bad. And then
also, A Night of the
Night of the
Seven
Kingdoms got delayed.
So
it's early next year, so it's delayed by a few months. Yes, but that fucks up their entire schedule. And
it tells me House of the Dragon season 3 isn't coming out till 2027.
It's not coming till 2027. Yep.
That's crazy.
That's Dunkin' Egg.
What the
isn't
fuck
it?
are you doing?
Dunkin' Egg is the easiest thing to make. It's one location primarily. You're in a fucking castle. There's no real battles. There's a tournament, right? There's no dragons. There's no dire wolves. There's no magic.
There's also no finish. There's also no finish to the story.
Well, there is a finish, at least like
to this
we can
one.
Go 3 seasons. We can go 3 seasons.
Yeah, they're all enclosed stories. They're the simplest ones to do, and they're really good. By the way, they're really good. But yeah, no,
like because George, he always has an issue with heroes, where Dunk is probably one of his most heroic, like traditional kind of characters is written.
Absolutely.
Pure in terms of just wants to be. Now, there is also a chance that he completely fucking lied about getting knighted, right? There's a pretty decent
but
chance.
You know what? It's most likely that he did, but he turns out to be a fucking knight, like a badass knight. So like, doesn't matter. It's all bullshit anyway, but absolutely. And thanks to the spoiler in House of the Dragon, you know, like this is the most important spoiler George ever leaked that explains fucking everything with the Song of Ice and Fire, because we never knew why Aegon conquered Westeros. You're going to get me started on this. Well, it's because he had a dream of the Song of Ice and Fire, which is the name of the entire book.
I think it was
George,
Calcite, right?
It was on the knife.
Yeah.
It was on the knife.
Oh, yeah.
So it's on the dagger.
To almost kill Bran, and then Arya uses in the show to kill the Night King, which is not
so it also explains Fuck the show. We're talking about the books. It also explains Summer
That will
Hall.
never be finished,
It
by
explains Summer Hall. It explains everything because not every Targaryen's going to know that prophecy. And I'm guessing Aegon V learned it at some point and became desperate to hatch dragon eggs. And that's what led to the tragedy of Summer Hall. Like, and there's so many, like, there's so many.
Very well could be what makes, because at some point Rhaegar becomes obsessed with the prophecy, like out of kind of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
So
maybe that's what turned the Mad King mad. Maybe that's what Rhaegar. Maybe
Rhaegon.
Gary, what do you think about the idea that Aegon actually never came up with that shit, and that was like a lie that was created after all the Maelor and Aenys stuff? You know what I mean? That like to unite the Targaryens after a couple of fucking rough years.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? The idea that it was made up, that somebody fucking made up this story that Aegon had a dream.
That would be very George R. Martin. The problem is like the dream's right, whether it's made up or not, you know? So whether it's made up or not, there's dead things in the North. Yeah.
Well, unless the Targaryens don't have anything to do with it and the show's closer than we fucking thought, Jon Snow won't matter.
Jon Snow. Yeah. So basically the show ended the way the book's going to end. Azor Ahai is both Dany and Jon, but reversed. Remember, Azor Ahai to get his sword going had to fucking stab his girl. And basically Jon's going to have to stab her. Because like after
in the vagina,
because after they defeat the White Walker, she's still she's still evil, and she's going to be bad in the books, like 100%. They just didn't set it up well enough in the show.
She's probably going to turn because of all the shit she's doing, and she's going to get there, and there's going to be a Mummer's dragon sitting the throne because Phaegon, is likely going to take King's Landing before Daenerys has the chance to.
Yes.
So it's not going to be Cersei. It's going to be Aegon, who is probably not actually Aegon, and is probably a fake Aegon Targaryen, he's probably going to be accepted and loved, and everyone's going to be celebrating him, and Daenerys is going to get fucked.
Do you think he's a Blackfire or just fake?
I think he's probably a Blackfire.
I think he's a Blackfire
from the female line,
but still fake Targaryen.
I think fake, yeah.
Okay. We could talk about this all day long.
We could actually.
We might have to do a stream on that sometime.
Yeah, I don't know. I like trains.
Mikey Gussler.
What do you think about? Hold on. So like you talk about like Azor Ahai and the sword that he builds when he's building Lightbringer and all this stuff. It's makes it for however many days. He tries to cool it in water and it shatters. He tries to cool it in a lion and it shatters. And then finally it's like in his wife, stuff like that.
He's got to stick it in his wife.
Like Rhaegar, who thought he was the prince was promised, was actually killed in water. And then Aegon, who Rhaegar initially thought his first son Aegon was the prince who was promised, that gets killed by Lannister men, by a lion.
Yep. No.
And then Jon Snow kills Daenerys, and he's actually Lightbringer, not the prince who was promised.
Yeah. Well,
Rhaegar's the prince who was promised because he put his fucking dick, his sword, in Lyanna.
Yes, he did, and it killed her.
It killed her.
It did kill her.
And Lightbringer, who's Jon Snow, comes out.
Yep. That's it. No, that's it. And that's
I don't know.
I just think
we're probably reading way too much into it.
Well, we are, because the book's not going to finish.
It's never going to culminate into anything.
Yeah. You might as well make your own ending here.
No. God, the Game of Thrones ending is it. Woo!
What a good ending.
That was great.
Best season ever.
Really quick, we didn't even talk about the ending of Andor. And
okay.
Greg, even though you weren't on last week, I was on EFAP, and I jokingly said what I thought the ending to Andor would be after Bix left Cassian. And I said, I'm going to be fucking pissed if the last shot of this series is Bix back on that fucking wheat planet with the stuttering droid, and she's like looking into the distance, and then she goes to a cradle and just grabs a baby and looks into the sunset.
And fucking called it, dude.
Dude, it was like right on.
Exactly what fucking happened.
You don't like that?
And I actually think Bix is force sensitive. And I think I think we're gonna see her, and it's gonna be really funny when Dave Filoni 2 years from now has Bix show up randomly.
Fucking destroy when he introduces her and destroys her character like he did with Mon Mothma.
Did Bix have a son, or did Andor have a son or a daughter?
It's
daughter. It's always daughter.
Always. It's gonna be It's
is
gonna
it
be
Ray? Like,
how
old is Ray at this
point? No, it's not.
There's gonna be people
I
that
do
have
like
said
the
he's
imagery.
Dameron.
Oh, Dameron? Oh.
I don't think that's real. It's just people that need to connect everything.
Wow,
you know?
That'd be
fuck,
funny.
that would be
I don't know
fucking
if the
hilarious.
timeline works on that one though, but
There's two Latinos in Star Wars, and you got
They have to be.
We'd be like 35 years old.
I don't know.
You know that's how they think.
Consider. I think that if Tony and the writer, if they wrote that child to actually be like a character, I think they have enough restraint to not do something like that. Because we got like,
I think Tony's going to go off and do other better things.
Well, he's like, if somebody else takes over, they'll be like, yeah, actually, this is super famous, incredible, they'll do it.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's.
No, I don't think he would.
I agree, and
he showed a lot of restraint.
I will say this. That
they only said "May the Force be with you" a single time at the end.
A single time. They mentioned Emperor a couple times. No mention of Darth Vader whatsoever.
But the Emperor should be mentioned. The Emperor is an important one to be mentioned.
Darth Vader, not necessarily. Darth Vader, no,
not a single lightsaber, baby. Yes, not one. I didn't have to see one of those fucking things.
What was that noise? What was that
I think
noise?
there is a lot of kind of risk.
That was my dog with his squeaky toy going fucking nuts outside.
It does sound really.
I think your dog also hates Andor.
Okay, we got to get Soups.
Yeah. In general, there's a lot of restraint for the show where they could go for really easy fucking cameos and bullshit, which I think are very detrimental to storytelling that they don't do in this. When they
don't do.
Could.
And then they immediately do it in Rogue One when fucking Walrus Man shows up. Fucking that guy on Jeddah. God, I was like,
I'm just amazed that Darth Vader didn't turn up at the end. That's all.
I'm amazed too. I thought that they
yeah.
Just for like viewership and stuff reasons, be like, ooh, look, it's Darth Vader.
Right.
You guys will fucking show up for him for anything.
All right, here we go. Mikey Gussler for Finny. Woo! People think that hashtag super shit is going to make a lot of money because there are a lot of views for the trailer and that the likes heavily outweigh the dislikes. The same thing happened for Black Adam, Flash, Blue Beetle, etc. Yeah, I mean, like first Captain Marvel movie, I think She-Hulk got ratioed. Most Ryan pointed out Wakanda Forever got tons of likes. Tons of likes. Yeah. I mean, like, dude, they don't necessarily translate. You're right. How well did that translate? Not well.
And also, I hear that like the extensions and everything that do the like dislike return thing, those are not to be trusted.
Well, they
run off.
It says on their website how they work. It's essentially they take their users, count the dislikes, compare it to the amount of users on their thing that have liked it. And they just
I've compared it to like mine, and it's
not 100% accurate.
It's not 100%.
It's usually fairly close.
It's within the realm.
The more of your viewers that are using that, the closer your numbers will be. But if it's a channel where the audiences don't overlap, then it
will be very wrong. Yeah.
Doc Hollywood for $199. Yo! I like that movie, by the way. Michael J. Fox. I'm really tired of the crap.
Like I think the movie starts really well and it gets a little shaky towards the end.
What, Doc Hollywood?
Oh my god.
I would agree.
1991 it came out.
Wow. Doc Hollywood for $199. I'm really tired of the crappy writing still coming out of Hollywood, so I pre-ordered Saints and Sinners from Rippaverse to remind myself what good writing is. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. And I think you'll have fun. Hopefully, everybody loves it. Dree 666 has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for Fitty. Hey! Ryan, not Ryan Kinnell, Ryan in Europe for 100 euros. Gary, I'm wary of woke nonsense in scripts too, but saying Andor still caves to ID politics because the men die feels off.
It's more than that.
Because what you're referring to what I said on the live stream the other day. I just pointed out that all the women survive.
Yeah, they do.
All the fucking women survive.
The exception of Cinta, pretty much all the women do survive.
All the women survive. And I listen, come on. Come on. Luthen mentors Clea. Mastermind. Could you lighten that back up, X-Ray Girl? I wasn't done with it, please. Thank you. X-Ray Girl. X-Ray, thank you. Masterminds. I can't never mind. I can't read it when she darkens it up. I can barely read when it's light. Luthen mentors Clea, masterminds Aldina, martyrs himself. Cassian sparks Narkina's revolt, rescues Bix. Those two are still the heroes. Am I off? So you're talking about just Luthen and Andor. Well, Andor had to survive because he was going into another movie, but he had to go, and he dies hugging another woman while his baby mama is off. So no, listen. The identity politics was 100 to fucking say the lesbians being in there and the fucking big kiss that took away from Andor and Bix's moment at the end of that episode was so fucking unnecessary and dumb. It was absolutely dumb. That was identity politics. That's specifically what I'm talking about. I just made it kind of a joke that like Clea's end. I'm fine with it. I thought she was a good character towards the end.
Yeah, she's a good character. Yeah, very sympathetic, super awesome. Would
For
love to see
Velen
more.
But thank you.
The problem is, look, if this had been done well, and there'd been a lesbian kiss, it's like, okay, did they really put it in there for that? And you ask those questions. The problem for me was it
pointless.
You had a full basically season for those characters, right? Because I think they get introduced in the middle of season 1 all the way through to what we see there. Well, at least Cinta's end. And throughout it, I don't feel like they did the work necessary to make me actually care about their relationship, other than a couple of moments of Vel just kind of like wondering where she is. And so I really didn't give a shit about them. And I think that's the biggest problem. Rag, I know you like the show probably better than anybody else on here. What did you think about them specifically?
They're not bad. I feel it. No, so. I don't think they were bad. I think they did serve a purpose in terms of the story. But I don't think they're. If you were to say name like your favorite elements of the show, it wouldn't be those two.
It wouldn't be the waif and the companion from Doctor Who, because she's the companion for Doctor Who right now.
It's like so. It's like, they're not bad. It's just, it's fine.
But Ryan in Europe, thank you.
Doctor Who was a highlight.
No, I think Bix. I thought Bix was going to die, and maybe I thought more people were going to die in this show than died.
Like Dedra not dying is almost a more cruel ending for her. Like,
it is.
Like, I wanted to see her die, right? That's what I wanted. However, I do think that her ending up in the same prison she sent so many other people to when her parents had been in prison, and her doing everything she can to like uphold this fucking oppressive boot of the empire in between her.
The last shot is her sobbing in the darkness.
Yeah,
that terrible prison.
That's a worse fucking fate for her than dying.
Because Dedra could have been like, there was a lot of elements that were girl bossy. She was the only woman there. By the way, that's funny. She was the only woman there. She was outsmarting all the dudes, but they balanced that by making her a fucking egomaniac who sowed the seeds of her own destruction. Yep.
A lot of people didn't like her, but they were willing to work with her depending on the circumstance. She got dressed the fuck down by her superiors when she was stepping out of line.
Yeah.
And she was clearly got her demotions and everying.
I could her assistant. I could have sworn he said his name was Piet. I guess it wasn't, but yeah. The one who got used as a meat shield. Mahler said it was a different name. I'm like, I could have sworn they said Piet, and I'm like, is that Admiral Piet? Like, he's a little young. Yeah.
Well, like characters like him sort of make me appreciate Andor for having a huge cast of secondary characters that we spend a lot of time with. They don't just introduce someone for a single scene and they're gone forever. We see these people pretty a decent amount. They pop up constantly. So when they do meet their fates, whatever they may not be, it's like, oh, it just kind of hits a little bit more, or you see where their story goes and ends and whatnot. So I appreciate the show a lot for that.
They aside from the lesbians, they do pay everything off that they set up. I think it takes a little too long sometimes, but they
you can watch the show.
They dot the I, they cross the T on everything they set up in that show, and they set up things for Rogue One. Now there is inconsistencies. I was talking to Mahler about it last night, like when Andor is in a jail cell at Saul Guerrera's, and Donnie Yen goes, "Oh, this happens to us all the time." He goes, "It's the first time for me." I'm all, except for the time you were in the fucking prison.
I know, because and they literally mentioned being in jail or prison, and he's like,
yes, they do.
And there's other like contradictions and plot holes, like so his robot. What's the name of the robot?
K2SO.
Is basically invulnerable to most blaster fire in Andor, but in Rogue One, blaster bolts leave these huge gaping holes in his armor.
It is.
Yeah,
no sense.
Yeah. They need to make their stormtrooper armor out of that robot.
Right?
Stuff. That looks really good.
Well, I mean, like their stormtrooper armor, they can get knocked out by a stick by 5'2" girl, you know,
or just slapped.
Or a slap.
Yeah. With a bare hand.
And that would have been like,
I was go ahead.
Even though some of those things can feel like nitpicks, like those things are important when you're telling this story that not only is it's gone on for almost 50 years at this point, and you do need to work within the confines of these things that were written in 1977 when you're telling these stories now for it all to make sense. And they're doing that a lot with, like, there's a comic book that came out, and the reason Disney got rid of all the expanded universe stuff was they claimed, well, everything coming out is all going to be part of canon, no matter what, whether it's a comic book, whether it's a novel, what you're reading is officially going to be part of this and important. And well, they had a comic book come out about how Andor met K2SO. They fucking ignored that for this. So like that combined with the things from Rogue One, those are important things in the grand scheme of storytelling.
Yeah, it's the canon buffet. You just pick whatever you want.
Pick what feels right.
The Adventures of Shiloh and Otis for $49.99.
I love that. I love that person.
Tyrone, this is great. One of my favorite YouTube. Wait, am I still logged into my meme account? What an unfortunate coincidence. Anyways, hail FNT. Hail to you, brother. Thank you.
Farah, I think.
I almost said Führer. Mantafar.
Oh my god.
You've been listening too much Kanye.
I've been listening too much Kanye. For 100 euros. I wanted to thank everyone. I had to take care of my sick father. And without you in my ear, this time wouldn't have been so easy for me. Well, thank you for watching. Sorry about your pops. I'll never forget the last Halloween episode and Trump election. You don't have such good prospects in Germany. All the best for you. Oh, sorry, Germany. Sorry, Europe. I'm glad all your leaders are all huffing a bunch of fucking coke before they go see Zelensky.
Huffing and fucking each other.
Well, if you don't like somebody, you can just ban them from participating. That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Or just jail them.
In France and Germany. They did it both in France and Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those two countries haven't had their problems in the past, and I don't keeping people from
WEF country. That there be
Fear the Tardo for Fitty. Oh, he's gone. Hi, Thighbone Magic. Thighbone Magic be Tardo's favorite reaction-ator. Even though make lots of snorts, Tardo also watch when reactionate to Christopher Drinker and Reggie's Nerdaholic videos. Tardo never unsub if no EFEF trailers. Lock it in. Yeah, or is it FF? FF trailers. I was too retarded to read the retarded. Lock it in. Yay. Ah, Tardo, we missed you. Don't play with your poop. Daniel Todd has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Daniel, maniac! And you know what you get as a gift? Mobland Watch Party. Mobland Watch Party. Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Time. I'm trying to get Mahler to join me on one of them, but we'll see. We'll see.
What
But
do you think of that last episode, Gary? Chainsaw.
I fucking loved it.
So good.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
I gotta catch up with Mobland to hear it's
There is a there's a chainsaw in the credits, right? So like you finally see what that so they show you elements of the show in the credits, and you see where these elements are brought in. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, you saw where the shit.
Yeah, it's impactful. And I think that the show does something good when this is not the type of show that I gravitate towards. I have trouble enjoying him, but when it can make me enjoy it, all right, they're doing something extra to get over my own kind of limitations.
It has a Game of Thrones, the political aspect of Game of Thrones element to it on a much smaller scale. There's even a little Joffrey Baratheon. You're watching this. You're with engaging characters who are fucking horrible, and the nicest guy, nicest guy is the fixer who has to kill everybody and clean everything up. And the most innocent guy is the guy presented as the villain in the show, Richie Stevens.
I know. He's
guy didn't do nothing wrong. All he wanted to do was sell his fucking fentanyl and be left alone.
And even what he does is mostly
there's no specific spoil. These are things you get set up in the first 10 minutes. First 10 minutes of the show that it all gets set up. Rags, have you seen any of it? Or
I've seen the first episode.
Okay. So you've seen the first episode.
Definitely interested.
Definitely keep in mind that first part of the first episode. Keep that in the back of your head the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You're going to be in for a good ride, Rags. You're going to enjoy yourself.
I've heard very good things from people whose opinions I take seriously. So, yeah, we've reached a pattern. So I do need to catch up on it.
Yeah. You got time. Yeah. New episode this Sunday.
How many episodes are out now?
7. 7.
It'll be on Sunday.
If you don't start binging it, I'd be surprised.
And there's 10 episodes, I think, total. So we got a couple more weeks.
We got a couple more weeks.
But it's an actual instead of like a streaming show that's kind of taking like 10 hours to tell it's not a what is it when they do the same thing in every episode like a Law and Order. It's not one of those.
It's not procedural. No,
it's not a procedural. However, each episode has one kind of storyline that they're figuring out while pushing for the overall arc. So it does feel like a show that you would see on television, and
there's no filler. There's even parts in the first couple episodes you go, the wife, you're like, but it actually goes somewhere. So there's they really move. The episodes move. The pacing it's Guy Ritchie pacing. So it's not like Guy Ritchie style, even though he directs a lot of the episodes. It's Guy Ritchie pacing. And I put up, it's on Twitter if it didn't get ripped down by Paramount. One of my favorite scenes from episode 6, where he talks about the greasy.
True.
That's right. You just watch it. I put it up on Twitter.
Yeah,
it's
Maeve,
great.
Maeve is such a vile, evil character.
I want to see her get
my favorite.
murdered.
She ain't
What I loved about this last episode, and this I can keep it most spoiler free. She wants something to happen, and something goes in the opposite direction.
That's pretty much how. See, that's George R. Martin didn't invent that, but they set up a plan. Everything goes. Actually, every Guy Ritchie movie. I mean, Gentleman is all setting up a plan and it going sideways the whole way. So that's what it is, and it's fun. St. Louis for $49.99. Anyone here read the Homo Heroes comic line? Me neither.
What?
I only read the
Homo
descriptions
Heroes?
on Amazon. Holy shite.
That's just DC now. That's just DC and Marvel.
I was going to ask,
the comic book industry.
Is it Marvel or DC, or was it a crossover?
Well, Doctor Doom's protege is now gay with Gay Killmonger.
Gay Killmonger. Oh.
Yeah.
Please tell me you're joking.
Oh my God!
Can I just read it? Can I read a line?
No, this is a.
Can I read a line?
Please.
The Homo Heroes are the newest group to join the prestigious World Police Force of super teams. Pride, Liberty, Les, and Dragolicious are some of the underworld heroes in pursuit of justice and stardom.
That's more on the
Wait.
Stardom?
Wait. Justice. Oh, dude, that's on brand. Okay, so is that a comic? Is it a comic?
Is this a joke? Just because is this a joke?
The first issue is called the LGBTQ plus superhero.
All right, we need a live reading of this. What do you think, chat?
They're going to be at the San Diego Comic Con.
Are they?
They have, oh wait, it says
on
24.
their own.
They just haven't updated the website. It says 24, not 24.
That's more on the nose than Snowflake and Safe Space. Like, holy crap.
Well,
They haven't updated it because no comics sold.
Garrett and I might be there.
This looks like a
Homo
plant
convention.
or something.
No, Comic-Con.
Hey,
We
there's
would
an
have invited
Australian
you if
Comic
we
Con.
were-
Dude, I spent 20 years at the Homo convention. It was called San Francisco.
Lived in it.
I lived in it.
Gary, 20 years and he didn't go. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not gay. I was there for 20 years.
Yeah, I started-
Never made out with a dude. Made it through prison too. It's great. I'm straight, you know.
That sounds like the quote from "If you close your eyes, it's not gay."
No, dude. The thing about prison is they do it because they are gay. All right, they try to like make it's forced on me. Or it's like no, you're all fucking gay in there.
All right, Goldilocks, calm down.
Oh my God. Hey, that's from the book. That's from the book.
Book series. Holy
You
shit!
didn't show the cover photo. We have to show.
We got to show the cover.
Oh,
So,
God. I was
so
trying
when
to
I
save
walked in,
y'all.
to reference the lore on that, and it's in the book. When I walked into Folsom Prison, I had this long, fucking metalhead blonde hair, right? And I get in there, and they line up all the fish. That's what we're called. And like somebody in the balcony's all, "Hey, Goldilocks, you want a taste of my sack lunch?" And I'm like, I'm cutting my hair, working. I turn around the guard. I'm like, how quick can I get a haircut, dude? Fucking cut it
From the
all
back,
off, dude.
you kind of look like Julia.
Yeah.
Let's go full American History
You can
X.
one of the heroes.
Dude, I shaved my head. So. Oh,
Homo
reading.
hero.
It actually looks less gay than the New Warriors.
No, that looks pretty gay.
This is
Okay.
like this is like the Imperial Energy Independence Program. It's a cover for something else. This isn't actually real.
What's the
Yeah,
character
it's
in the
not
top
real.
right called? Hermaphrodite.
That might be Les. Who knows? Or Dragalicious.
what are these superhero names? I need to know them now.
Well, there's one on the right called Enter Black Magic. From which direction?
Yeah.
Which hole is?
Okay.
We are just so beyond parody at this point. Like,
We are.
it's real.
Thank you,
That's a great representation.
St.
there.
Louis.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Maybe we can do it. It's been a long time since we've done a dramatic reading of a comic book.
Oh yeah, you got to get your characters. Everyone has to pick their favorite.
Yep.
Do the voices. Yeah.
I want to be Black Magic.
Disparu is Liberty Les.
Black girl magic.
Oh no.
Gary, I gotta jump.
Okay, fucking
Hey.
get out of here.
Yeah.
I saw that Homo Heroes cover, and he's like, "I gotta go, guys."
I gotta go.
38
Don't
See you in
fuck about
38
Homo
seconds.
Heroes. Nobody bought it. We'll buy the only copy that's going to get sold, and we'll read it to you.
Yeah.
But if you do want to read a comic, go please support Saints and Sinners at theripperverse.com. Mauler and my debut writing, and it's for the Ripperverse, and we're very excited to bring that to you. Thank you, everyone. I just want to say that Andor conversation was so exciting. I'm glad that after 6 weeks and hours of discussion, we can all come to the conclusion that Star Wars is still fucking dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yep.
As
Bye.
bye. TWF for $100 Australian dollars. Disparu was half right. China was overly successful and created a mass migration of sparrows during the purge. China admitted defeat when Mao, the people in the guy, they don't make movies. You know how many movies are there about like Hitler's a bad dude? We all agree that. How many movies are about Hitler? How many fucking movies are there about Mao?
I don't think
There
there's
should
a
be.
whole lot.
Like, he is responsible to.
He killed more people.
More people than anyone else.
Him and Stalin.
Yeah, kid gloves. Hollywood treats them with kid. I wonder why. It's so weird.
Well,
yeah,
technically,
they're commies or something.
Gary,
Yeah.
his political party the party of Mao is still the party in power in China.
It is the power in China, and there's a lot of.
They have his portrait on the
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So Mao fucked up. Rolled back.
That's why I don't play Marvel Rivals.
There you go.
Good point.
Rolled back is go play Ultimate Alliance. That's still around, right?
Hell
Ultimate
yeah.
Alliance. Ultimate Alliance is the fucking shit.
Both of them are great.
Both of them are great.
Both
Hell yeah.
Ultimate Alliance.
Dude, I want to play those right now. I'm gonna play.
I just want to know, why are you foreigners so bad at warring against birds? So like every time I hear about it, you guys lose.
I know. We'll just nuke them.
No, this was the point of the
love our
super chat
birds.
though.
I like
They were
birds.
too effective. Like the sparrows
Yeah, they
couldn't
were.
eat all the bugs. So the bugs ate all the crops and then everyone died. It was basically the thing.
So the Sparrows returned seasons later, and he asked the panel, "This should be kind of easy." Where did Ryan go? Did he have to leave?
Power
went out.
Power went out. Okay, because Ryan should be here for this. Favorite Star Wars moment? You can only pick one. What's your favorite Star Wars moment? Shad.
You're jumping on that too soon. I gotta think about this, Gary.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is like-
I'll give you mine. If you want to say like the moment where I was in the theater and got the most goosebumps, it was when your sister, if you will not turn to the dark side, maybe she will. No, and then the fucking music that got me. I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. So
You just
that was
stole
it.
mine because as I thought about it, the part that has had the most emotional impact and investment in me as a kid, watching Luke unload on Vader after he antagonizes him and is going nuts, and the music is building and it ends with him just going crazy.
That is arguably the best piece of music, John. Like most emotionally impactful. They got the choir up. Wasn't on the fucking soundtrack when it originally came out. I was so pissed.
Wow.
I was
That
so
shit
mad.
pisses me off. I heard this in the movie. We had an agreement.
We did.
It's not
So
here.
it later got put on in the special edition box set that they in the early '90s, but like the one that they sold in 1983 on vinyl, you didn't get that. It wasn't on it. Couldn't believe.
I'm gonna go with the first time he meets Darth Vader, like head to head. You are not a Jedi yet. Like boom, that whole fight sequence,
that's good stuff.
ending with obviously I am your father. Such a fucking great sequence. Love that.
Mine is where Obi-Wan Kenobi is running away from Darth Vader, lands on a moon. Darth Vader follows him and then goes, Did you come here to destroy me, Obi-Wan? Sorry.
The writing, so good. So good.
Chef's kiss.
It's the carbonite scene with Han and Leia. That the whole thing was so fucking good. Especially where she's like, I love you. And he's like, I know. It's like,
I know.
That's such a Han Solo thing to say.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
X-Ray Girl.
The thing that I can remember the most is
Baby
the fight
Yoda.
between like Darth Maul and then Obi-Wan, and that being like so epic when I was a kid because I was like a wee little tot.
Oh, she goes to the prequels. Some of the chat's gonna be very happy about that.
Well, we could go to our second favorite moment.
Well, let's go to
My
Rags.
second
Rags.
favorite-
I got Rags.
legitimate-
What's your
it's
favorite
legitimate.
moment in Star Wars?
It's really tough to choose. It might be when it's probably going to be when Vader chucks Palpatine down at the very end of that encounter. You know, and Luke's getting zapped, and Darth Vader, decides to kill the Emperor because the Emperor dies in that scene, and he's gone. All right,
Yes.
he's
He did not
finished.
come back.
He gets vaporized.
Yep. No way,
but
no
it's-
how, somehow he did
it's-
not come back.
It would be
you're
ridiculous.
And you're talking about the scene from the original
He does
Return of the
not
Jedi.
scream
not
no.
Yes.
He doesn't say
Thank
a
you.
goddamn
Yeah,
word.
he just-
Yep.
All right. But it is legitimately tough. Obviously the Cloud City fight. There's a lot of really awesome stuff that happens in the space battle in Return of the Jedi. Luthen Rail's speech in season 1 in No Way Out is highest tier phenomenal stuff.
That's a good speech.
But it's tough to choose. But I guess I got to default to that one.
To give a nod to the prequels, my second moment would be Anakin versus Obi-Wan, the entire duel.
Yes, boy.
God,
I remember like recreating that with my brother. The entire thing, like all
And
the
the
way up,
music
climbing
in
up
it?
the thing, and then it falls down.
We went to Arizona in the summer and recreated the Mustafar fights.
Yeah, exactly.
Poured boiling water all over the floor.
All right, we're gonna get a few more and then go to the Rumble Hour. Oh, I was wondering if I was probably going to blab a little too early. I've never done that before. I think, yeah, once we get done with, remind me to make an announcement at the beginning of June.
Okay.
At the beginning of June.
Going to take several post-it notes.
Oh, dude, it might take,
Yeah,
how many days are until June?
Just gonna have a
You just
reminder on my
remove a post-it
phone
note
at
every day.
this rate.
And yeah, I'll be back talking about my book next week. I want to kind of focus on Saints and Sinners right now. But I did sign no, I'm waiting for I got to sign something and then I can say something.
Riveting.
Isn't it though? I mean, like, you're on the edge of your fucking seat, aren't you? Fucker. Eddie Brock 9043 for $5.99 says, Gary and Disparu, have you seen the mainstream media on X saying that the BBC will ditch Disney Doctor Who and continue making the show? Very doubtful. We'll talk about that in the Rumble Hour. We'll discuss that in the Rumble Hour.
I saw that just before the show because I think it came out today.
Yeah, we will discuss it. And Disparu and I are probably the only ones here watching the show right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the only one doing videos on it, so watch those. I talk about him a little bit on live stream, so watch Disparu's video.
Although one thing we did say that you were said before that the Mirror is the one that said they were cancelled. The Mirror was the one that said it would be 2 years. So they've actually had this same story for a while at this point.
The Mirror in the past said Jodie was going to leave like way before like she actually did leave. It's the Mirror. But as I said when we were talking, thanks to Screen Rant and Bleeding Cool, now the Mirror is trustworthy compared to them.
Oh,
you know?
There is so many rumors about Doctor Who and who's coming back and how they've already cast another Doctor and it's a woman that you've already seen in the series previously and stuff. It's so bad. The rumors, I didn't think it was possible, but the rumors are worse than the show.
Yeah, I think we'll get into it, but I think people are trying to will it into existence. So, John Murdoch for 50.
So am I.
Yeah. Just noticed the flag behind Quarter Black Garrett. Much appreciated.
This was my flag that came with I bought a house, had a flag up there, and it was all torn, and I was like so sad about it.
You kept it. Yeah, you know, you don't like. We had one that was torn, and I hung it up in my closet. Like I don't throw away American flags, dude.
Yeah, it's respected.
Respect it. Ryan respects it. He's got it on his shirt.
I do. I've got one down.
Oh, you're coming through the camera, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
My fucking.
You do have
you do have one down there. Well, did you get one? Like, do they? Well, I know that. Like, I have my dad's right because my dad was in the Navy, so they gave me a folded flag and it's in a little frame and stuff. I don't. Do they give you that shit when you leave? What do you get when you leave the Navy?
Not
except
that.
AIDS.
Lube. Turn on my fucking thing. I'm all.
So that's when they enter.
What happened to your power? Is it storming or?
It just blipped out, I guess. And it's not really storming. I heard a really fucking loud noise. Lights go out, but then they came back on. So it's not like a transformer blue. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
You're still coming through a different mic. Though.
How about this?
That's it.
That's
there you go.
I'd actually turn on my Roadcaster again. So.
Mrs. Nerdrotic was in a tornado warning yesterday. That's fun.
Well, that's the real one.
Up north?
Yeah. It's rare to have. I guess Wisconsin gets them. I didn't think Wisconsin got them that much, but they got them.
I saw somebody be like, "There's a tornado watch in my area. Prayers would be appreciated." I'm like, "Watch ain't shit, bitch. Wait for a fuck. Like, I'm not gonna waste my fucking prayers over a tornado watch."
That was epic, Mike.
That shit happens all the time.
Was it epic, Mike?
By the way,
was it? Yeah.
And then when it said it's gone down to a warning, he says because I warned it and it got scared.
Yeah. Mike could be fine in a fucking tornado.
He is the cow that's like,
dude. A bunch of cows got fucked up. So if you watch Ryan Hall, y'all, I'm sure everybody's heard of Ryan Hall, y'all, the weather guy.
Weatherman.
Yeah, he'll do live streams doing tornado watch, and 100,000 people are watching.
It's pretty wild.
He's good. He's entertaining. But they did some drone footage yesterday, and yeah, there were some fucked up cows, man. They didn't make it.
Yeah. Free meat.
Alvin Adida for 50,000 Martian pesos. By the way, IDRRP means Indonesia rupiah. Oh, hi, Shad. I really want to see full Gary rant on Silver Surfer MCUF4. or make a video explain on how it was a mistake. We did on Nerdrotic Daily. I would have made a full one for the main channel, but we were in Vegas. So I actually edited 2/3 of it, Garrett, and you brought it home for me. So it's on Nerdrotic Daily. And I will definitely include my full rant when the movie comes out.
Yep. Just wait.
Oh, it'll be a very large segment of the review. It's fucking stupid. It's as dumb as Black Snape. Black Snape and Female Silver Surfer are equally as fucking dumb. And as far as importance to their story, Silver Surfer is just fucking as important to Snape and vice versa. They're like super important characters, and to race and gender swap them is nothing but identity politics. It was not a decision made based on a creative decision. It wasn't best person for the job. It's not even a good fucking business decision.
At least there is a multiverse in Marvel.
Yes.
Where like the idea that in one of these universes, this thing, there's not one in Harry Potter.
I think Female Silver Surfer dies at the end of FF. I don't think she makes it out.
Well, I'm like 99% sure that those pictures that are taken, they're of her backstory before she became the Herald.
She gets put back or so. I don't know. Like her dying would suck too.
Yes, because it's like, oh, well, it's a woman, so we're sympathetic towards her because of this, and it's going to be like they free her from. But I think Galactus is going to win, so that's what I think is going to happen in this movie.
Yeah, and they're going to have to run to the Thunderbolts.
Like the entire planet being destroyed, and the Fantastic Four fails.
Their whole universe or something.
Magnus,
I mean, what to get over that? Like,
well, no, who had the theory? Was it Chris?
Einstein, right?
No, yes, relativity. Chris Gore, Frank Gore came up with the theory. No, that the ship that you see at the end of the Thunderbolts is not piloted by the Fantastic Four; it's piloted by Doom.
Oh,
it was just and I'm like, you know what? I'd actually like that idea better. I would, but
still
we'll
a
see.
shit post-credit scene,
dude. Doomsday is a multiverse movie, 100%. So the Fantastic Four
in it. Jeez, you think so?
I know, right? But they're all going to be. Last time I heard, unless they change the script 50 times, it's X-Men versus Fantastic Four versus Marvel MCU. So they're all going to try to team up. Then they're all going to have to fight each other at some point.
Is the movie going to be like 8 hours long? Like, how is that?
I think they announced the length. It's over 3.
Yeah, there's
somehow have any idea what it's going to be. They haven't started shooting it. Like
they have
no idea how long this thing's going to be.
It's they have a year to make it. They have a fucking year to make it. I think it gets delayed.
I think it's Marvel and they get it done, and it's a messy sack of shit.
Yeah.
What?
That could be true too.
Why would you ever
that
say
could be
that?
true too. Hail FNT Ryan. We all want to know, what was your favorite Dedra Miro scene in Andor?
My favorite Dedra Miro scene.
Dedra.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, maybe just because this just happened, but there's more a Krennic scene than her. But seeing Krennic at the end interrogating her, like when he puts his fucking finger right on top of her fucking
that was good.
And she looks like she's gonna shit her pants.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think her when Cyril is, after he dies, and her straightening of her uniform, and that's her kind of freaking out. I thought that was
she's
pretty
like
good.
Almost crying, but doesn't quite do it. She's readjusting herself everywhere, trying to look professional,
or her getting choked by Cyril.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Cyril, dude. What a story for him. Jeez.
How long do you think it'll take before solid alternative film and TV development ecosystems will be developed as a result of Hollywood's decline, or will entirely new models for development emerge? Then, like AI, TV film, Aaron K, 1999. Great question. That process has already begun, and it will take a long time.
Decades.
I think you're already seeing it with places like Netflix buying more foreign television.
Yes.
I've seen more and more, and not just from Korea anymore, but from all over the world. Everyone else's industries are getting brought across.
It's already been supplanted by the next thing. The next thing is the internet.
It is
the next thing is YouTube.
It's us, everybody.
Well, gaming,
That's
like
what it is.
gaming is the top form of entertainment right now. It makes the most money.
Has been for quite a while.
Quite a while. The the largest entertainment company that exclusively makes entertainment is Disney, but they also It's because of experiences. The second, which is going to pass it up within the next 2 years, is YouTube.
Yep.
So unless YouTube does something stupid, which is
completely
possible.
What?
But I know. That's a really good question. So the process is already happening, and you're seeing the institution of the music industry, of centralized Hollywood, even centralized publishing fall apart. So they're like dying empires, and they'll never completely die, but you're going to see, unless something changes drastically, like giant movie theaters are going to have a hard time staying open. There's a giant one in downtown Oceanside, California, that's closing down because it's just too fucking expensive and it takes up too much land. But Disparu's right. Hollywood's breaking up, basically, lack of a better term. Dude, I love Tyro Magnus. Watched a ton of him in 2015. Put him on a thumbnail for my Ultra Magnus review. Also, hey, really hope Superman is good. I think we all do. I think that's
I hope it's good.
Holy fuck!
It ain't gonna be. It's gonna be shit.
Yeah,
it's James Gunn. But I mean, one scene. Give me a scene. Give me one scene.
Goddamn,
that's really good.
No, give me a good Superman movie. I would love nothing more to sing its praises from all the fucking mountaintops. I would love and watch it multiple times in the theater in fucking IMAX. Let's fucking go. That's what I want. Hail to the panel and hi, Rags.
Oh, hello.
Thanks for being here, Rags.
Anytime, as long as it's Friday at 3 p.m. Central, then anytime.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Specifically, a specific time. Misa-son has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you very much. Griff Nizzle. Bravest thing Gilroy did, wrote a woman who was wrong and had consequences in Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars. How'd he slip that by the Disney ISB? That's a good point.
The Disney ISB.
That's a good point. Okay, we will get the rest on a square up. I do apologize we can't get to the rest, but we will get to the rest on the square up. And all of a sudden my phone just thought I was talking to it. My AI just popped on. Fuck, I hate that shit. You know what? When I'm done with the internet, I'm going back to a fucking dial-up. I'm just going to have a phone that plugs into the fucking wall.
Just a rotary
fucking phone.
You're going to go back to, you're going to go to pulse codes like in Andor, tapping the button. Yeah.
Yes. So, there'll be a score up Monday right here on Rumble and on Nerdrotic Live at 11 a.m. If you haven't subscribed to Nerdrotic Live, please do. In the meantime, if you want to keep watching, we're going to go over to our exclusive Rumble Hour. Thank you to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. Thanks to everyone who participated. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.
That's right. See you later, everyone.
Bye.
Rumble. We can talk about the Diddy.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.